He was Adam Gilchrist before Adam Gilchrist.
He was, exactly right.
Much like Deepak Patel opening the bowling with spin for New Zealand. That changed in the 92 World Cup. Not that we're showing our age, but we remember all these games. You do show your age quite well.
I am old. This is short and pushed into the offside, short of the length, heading on the back foot and played it nicely.
I wouldn't say you're old, Dan, but the fact that you've got your abacus here to keep score suggests that perhaps it's time you move to something more modern for the technology. I'm liking this start by the...
Give me a hard time last year and it hasn't stopped. You've been here for 1 over and 3 deliveries and I've been under the pump.
Well, 1 over 3 deliveries, but it's about half an hour, the way that the first over went. You do have your very own sayings that no one quite understands.
Offside by Bubba, he thinks about a run, he's sent back, there's no run.
So 10 balls in, you can see the intent of the Pakistan openers though. They want to get away to a big start, they want to consolidate, they know they've got hitters throughout the middle order as well. They're going to back each and every one of their players. I think with bat or ball, they're going to back all of them just to be the best version of themselves throughout the game. And I think that's a good way of playing T20 cricket. Everyone. Well, the wind is very strongly going towards the peninsular end of the stadium here, right across. So where you see Bubba Nadeem there, towards mid-wicket, there's a very, very strong breeze. If you're going to hit and use the breeze to your advantage, mid-wicket is where he needs to go.
Overs gone, but Pakistan have made a bright start, and none for 14.
I do love India-Pakistan games at all levels in all sports. Hockey,
what about the T20
World Cup? It's the loudest I've ever heard the MCG, and I've been there a lot. I've missed a Boxing Day test since I was 3, but that was. Oh, way louder than a grand final.
And I think we forgot how big it was going to be.
No, I didn't forget. That's why I bought a ticket in February to make sure I can get there. It was great to watch. But then out here, everyone's friends. Everything's friendly. And the first ball goes, and all of a sudden, it's on. And I love that. I reckon that's exactly how sport should be. It's the best of sport when you've got two very passionate countries playing a sport that we all love. And you put on the Indian and Pakistani shirt, and it means everything to the combatants.
They just love it in India. Maybe not all year round. It's playing out here, played all year round. Look what they're doing. He's going down the league side and wide. He just can't get his line right strong at the moment.
Admittedly, at the moment in Melbourne, you probably wouldn't know that it's a winter competition or a summer competition because it's raining since June. It hasn't stopped raining until today. This is the first nice day or second nice day we've had in 6 months.
2 weeks ago it was really hot on a Saturday, so they got plenty of soft cricket in. Last week was probably the best day. Yesterday was pretty good as well, so they're finally starting to get cricket in, but as I said a bit earlier, a lot of the turf comps, standing on district competition with Cranbourne are in, they've had to resort to a one-day format again like they had for COVID for the last...
Couldn't get on till mid-November.
Tony Cricket's another one. Strong's in again, bowling quickly, doing a catch down the leg side. And I think he's walked. Cameron Akmal has walked. The umpire didn't put his finger up, but he's got a feather through to the wicketkeeper. Caught down the leg. So he put the finger up. I didn't see him put it up. He must have put it up quickly. Which one was wrong, but...
He nodded, he knew it was out, and he put his finger up. That was
he nodded.
hit him on the gloves and through to the keeper. Really well taken by the keeper too, it must be said. Really good catch.
1 for 15.
We'll take a look at the...
Akmal out for 5. Let's have a look at the replay here, folks.
So he has been a bit all over the place at the moment, Australian, but he got this one down leg side, hit him on the gloves, well taken. Not a great delivery, but you take the wickets when they're there because you're not always going to bowl. You're not always going to get wickets with your great deliveries. So sometimes you just take those ones and say thanks very much. Especially when you're removing a former test player. You say thank you very much, that'll do. Because he could be very, very dangerous in the T20 format.
That's right. One international bowling to another. It's great for competition. We're in the strand. 6 one-day internationals. 24 IPL matches. In Korea.
Yusuf Iqbal coming in at 3. A lot of pressure on number 3. You come in following Akmal, who a lot of the runs and the plans would have been around him making runs at the top. And now that falls onto the next batter and the pressure dominates.
You're into the wind. Got a bit short on this side of the ground. He hit in the air. You need to try and hit it on the ground. It's none of Paul's big play successfully in his 32 for Australia despite their 15-run loss earlier today.
Tell you what, we still haven't got the test watching patrons across because Australia's 3 for 19, needing 34 to win.
Brenda's run. In again. Gee, takes the top part of the bat. He did well to just keep it down. If there had been a fielder a bit closer on the offside, it might have ballooned, but he's deep enough for it to land safely. That was a good piece of bowling. It was a throat ball there, and Bowen and Dean did well enough to keep it down.
It's exactly what we were talking about before. Sometimes the best balls don't take wickets. That's a really good shorter delivery. Cramped him for room.
The outside edge, and then you can bowl the full toss, and the batter can hit it straight to mid-wicket and get his way out. That's the way the game is. That's why we love it. This is down the leg side. That is as way better delivery as we're likely to see, and the wicketkeeper didn't take it cleanly. They get a run.
That'll add a couple to the...
It's a bit all over the place. When he gets it right, it's great to watch. We're in the third over and 1 for 16. Cameron Akmal already out for 5.
I always said the hardest bowlers to face aren't necessarily the quickest. They're quick, but the hardest ones to face are the ones you don't know where it's going because they don't know where it's going. Jeff Thompson, Dirk Nannis comes to mind. They're quick and they don't quite know where it's going, and so if you're facing and they don't know where it's going, what chance have you got?
Brad Hodge tells the story of Shane Harvey coming down from the other end, passing him in the nets, sort of hit him into real twice. And he said that'll do, thanks. Let's go into another net.
I think that's it.
Bowling on Melbourne in Ballarat.
Yeah, I think that's how they got into the Albert to play for Melbourne. Hodgie had a fair bit to do with that.
He said that he was just trying his luck. He's going to check out a few clubs. And Hodgie said, I think you better stay here, son. I don't want to have a crush. Going in again, bowls. Good bowling right on line. Here's the big bowl who's a little bit edgy in playing that defensively. He's top class fast bowling when he gets it right, Strand. And the third over at 1 for 18.
It's been a bizarre start to this innings. The ball's been all over the place. We've seen some great bowling not rewarded. We've seen some ordinary bowling take a wicket. It's been all over the place here, Dan.
He said it's in the scorebook, son.
It's true. You're right, the score and not a story, and that's what's important here. The story is Pakistan 1 for 22 after 3.
Big fella. He's played 2 ones over. Straight away.
With so much going on, little things like buys, like the keeper just not seeing it into his gloves, little things like that make a difference. And we talk about changing the strike and getting the other batter on strike.
That's still Stephen Wigg. I thought it was like going, he's going to come into the attack, but it is Stephen Wigg.
Oh no, just because Johnny looks like he's got a wig on doesn't mean that he is wig. And you'll see, and you wouldn't understand about hair, Dan.
No, I've chronically challenged the problem in this part of 20 years. But I do keep saying you can't grow grass on a busy street.
I'm not sure it's so busy up the top there, Dan.
Driving, but not scoring. You have to reach for that a little bit.
In 20 deliveries of this innings, that's probably the most normal bit of cricket we've seen. Pitched up, offside, lovely off drive, fielded cleanly, into the keeper, dot ball. It's the first time we've taken pause in 20 deliveries to start this innings. There's Ghani there with his big mop of hair. Very Bollywood-esque type hair.
On the back foot, in, and then there's a return, and Babber was out of his boots, and this is the stump he got back. Looking at the field, full stack on the offside, he respected as he goes to the field up. Point, cover point, short extra cover, mid off, squarish or wideish mid on, mid wicket, big forward square leg, and there's a fine leg inside the circle. Wig strides in again. Jess Gardy, who was one of the stars of the comp last year, I think a player of the tournament. One of the players in the tournament.
He was.
Man of the match in all the games that he did involved in generally. Plays at Murrumbina in the Southern Bayside cricket competition on turf, like another competition that was also a one-day fixture. And very important with the bat. He rescued them against Australia last year, helping them have a tight win. Bowls and playing for the Greece is government agreement, and that's what Australia brings his arms and doesn't score anything else done. 2 for 23, use of 5 and cover 6 off the end. Selman, I should say, is at the wicket now. Score. Selman at 3, cover 36.
I do like the confidence being shown in the spinner as well. His field's still in for the power play. First 6 overs, of course.
Playing into the offside, behind his field. Gives us a bit more air and swung across the line. That's a nice shot by Bubba. Along the ground too. Slide his field. The fielding done in front of our commentary position.
Won or lost by millimetres and inches. Sneaking him is inappropriate. Is that one? Is it long down towards it, long on the races on it, pulled in just inside the boundary. That one pulled up a little bit. Looks like pitching where it sort of chipped in the air, get all the way through, and they pick up a couple.
I think Bubba will be happy that he had the breeze on that occasion, because into the wind, I reckon that's gone. So a little bit of luck, but you need a little bit of luck in your innings. And at the moment, Pakistan can do with all the luck in their favour if they can get it. because they haven't started as strongly as perhaps they thought they might.
It's going to be the debate. I think they're on a high noon. I think few raiders they pop it in a row. 2 days.
South Africa's first innings when they battened down the hatches. Rearguard action there. Travis Head batted really well. Steve Smith got stuck in and he got knocked over by a good ball. That's okay. That happens. Good batters still find ways of making runs. And then all out 150. I mean, it's...
They lost 3 to none, then 6 to 20 off. 99 in the second inning. Australia probably weren't going to get 99. They kept going.
And it's too easy to say that you can just give it a shave, get the grass off and move forward. The forecast was for some pretty hot weather there as well. So, you know, 16 overs, he's going to get a good total.
That's right. I mean, we saw in the first match, Australia bowled the first 6 overs off pace and then introduced spin as soon as the power play was finished and then bowled spin all the way through with the 4 overs there. And then just the Sri Lanka ball pretty much exclusively spin. We've seen Stephen, we bowled 3 overs straight here at the start of the innings. If he got made one for a little bit later on. There's Gandhi, the attack here.
He's bowled a really good first one when he had the field up. So, again, that's why he's got a bit of protection now. He's got... Straight away, they've gone with the 5 fielders out. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and a sweeper on the offside. So they're going to defend here, India, and I don't mind it.
On strike, cuts off the back foot through cover. They've got that protection in the deep. That's just the one. They won't mind that.
But therein lies the only problem for India. The flip side of that is that they can now get into their innings, and they probably don't feel like they've built an innings so far. So the downside of immediately pushing fielders out is that now they can get into their innings over the course of the next 4 or 5 overs and start building, knowing they can catch up at the back end if they've batted for that long.
Downwind and have that success is a dead ball. Tracking the bails. I think the bails blew off. We've seen a bit of that today.
They need the zing bails don't come off even when you hit it with the snubs. And that's the sort of support that India are looking for in that ring. You need to have really good fielders close to the batters here. Don't let them get easy singles. Don't let them feel settled.
Only conceded 3 runs from 8 deliveries here. Gandhi. Continuing around the wicket, there was an awkward sweep sort of played into the top of the pad and then deflecting down to where a leg slip would have been. And they get a single, the keeper to do his own work.
Well, it's going to be 2 as it's been given a wide. So, yeah, I must say I thought so too. The umpire's in a very good position out there, can see everything that's happening. India getting through their overs too, which can again just add that little bit of pressure to Pakistan, feeling like they're under the pump a little bit.
Another 4 delivery, carbon copy. Now to the bowler. Had a hard time early with a lot of extras, a lot of wides, but again driven to the offside, no run. You've got a bit of a feed between them. India and feed, which is terrific. Looking forward to hopefully that over the course of the week.
Well, you've been paid in catering, so that probably helps, DP. They don't know how much you can eat, though. I've seen you monster food. Very tasty.
The 7th over and defended nice and tidy quality bowling from Gandhi. Just the 2 singles and a wide off that over. He's gone for 5 off his 2 overs, 2 for 32 from 7 to score now. Pakistan going at less than 5 and over, with a couple of players back in the shed.
He's only had 2 scoring shots off his bowling in 2 overs. I mean, that's remarkable bowling. It just shows that he's got such good control. And he bowled really well in the Aussie Cricket League last year as well. And it's his control. And also, from a skipper's point of view, you want to throw the ball to someone that you know where if you set the field, he's going to bowl to that. And I love that. I reckon that's really good. Top of the order, and it does. It puts pressure on for the back half of your innings because you haven't got to where you need to be at that rate. So 2 for 32 off 7 after winning the toss and batting first. I think Pakistan will be a little disappointed with how it is. And there's a new bowler. Manpreet Ghani's going to come into the attack, is it?
Running full pace into the delivery, into that shot that was coming his way, and unfortunately it is for Pakistan the 3rd wicket down, and they just can't build momentum at the moment. 3 for 38.
Driving on the up looks really tough on this wicket. It's the second time we've seen a wicket fall from it when the ball's not quite there. Sure, if it's a full toss, a half volley, you can go after it and try and hit it on the ground. We've seen you get value for runs, value for shots, if you hit it along the ground past the fielders. Trying to hit over the top on the up seems fraught with danger on this wicket, and he's not as quick. Singh's not as quick as we've seen, but he still gets through it. And as you'll see, he even just rolled the fingers over that. Just roll the fingers over it a little bit, take a little bit of pace off, hit straight to middle. It's really good bowling, good captaincy, good field placements, but he'll be really disappointed with that, Afridi. Well, he's been a fantastic Premier cricketer for a long period of time, won premierships with Dandenong. I know he's changed sides now, but he's just a legend of Premier cricket, and so to come here and lead Australia, there's pride that goes with it as well as just being a really good cricketer.
Going to be just the 1 run for that.
3 for 39 now, 3 for 38 off 8, so that's 4.75 and over. It's wonderful work from India, who a lot of runs have actually come through extras, through wides and so forth. So the bowling in between those loose deliveries has been really quite good.
120, 130, very much looking good scores on this wicket based on the first game and the start of this one as well. It's a fuller delivery, which is driven along the carpet, will be comfortably fielded in the deep, just the 1 run.
So Dale Christie, the coach of Pakistan, will be with his senior members of his side, and they'll be talking about readdressing what the target will be. I think that's really important halfway through the innings. Well bowled. Just took the pace right off there. Gave him absolutely nothing to hit, and you're hitting into the wind too if you want to swing it away to the leg side. That's really good bowling, and he was, as I mentioned, Tej Gandhi was fantastic last year. He was player of the match in 2 of the 3 games leading into the final.
Master of bowling these lower cricket darts. It's very difficult to get that one away. Beats the bat that time. Didn't fall out of his crease. The keeper was at the ready.
It's about 4 different deliveries in 4 balls this over.
Yeah.
That's.
He's getting through it quickly with variety, well executed. He's gone for 7 off 16 deliveries so far. And that one, again, just forcing the batsman to defend. Front foot, big stride down the track.
And of course the eternal question, do you keep him bowling? Do you bowl his 4 out because you know that he's in really good touch at the moment? They're trying to get after him, but they just can't hit him.
I don't feel like you can do it at this stage. One after this, and that one is again just jammed out into the ground. Terrific over, 4 dot balls in a row, 9 overs down, 3 for 40.
So a lot of pressure now is going to come onto Baba Nadim's shoulders. We've seen him make runs in this tournament before last year. He can really hit them when he gets going. He doesn't look like he's going at the moment. He hit a couple of nice pull shots early, but he can't panic. 20 over cricket, T20 cricket, there's always more time than you think 120 chances to make runs. Yes, 54 of them might have gone, but you've still got 66 chances to make runs and get that total to something that you can defend. And we heard from the skipper earlier on, he said we're going to defend any total. Well, they're going to have to put something defendable on the board, and then you just never know.
Sri Lanka, various stages sort of jittering through their innings, and then 36 or 3 overs in overs 15, 16 and 17. It changed the whole context of the game. Instead of getting, say, 110, 115, they got 8 for 131.
And it changes the way you chase. Yeah, it changes the way you chase as well.
So there's still a chance, and they can just hold this together. Jada got a wicket in the previous over, in bowling the 10th here, just drop and run into the offside on a single.
Manpreet Gainey just making sure that he's keeping them all honest, which I don't mind. That's who Dan Lonigan's very, very jealous of with his hair. He's going to ask him about it later on after the game, apparently.
Challenges as he got himself into a tangle there, tries to avoid the big pull shot over the onside there, and just dropped it into the body there to Bubba. Rolled down the leg and no run.
And this is what we're talking about. Bubba Nadeem can't get frustrated. He's actually got to bat the time. He's got to bat all the way through now. He's still got to be aggressive and look for runs, of course, but
Trying to whip it away here, they're in a disastrous position.
what Pakistan don't want is Dale Christie threatening that he's going to play. It's the last thing they want. The least Pakistan person on their side too, by the way.
Maybe you just get up and pace along the line and get
Oh, he can do that, yeah.
a couple left in the 10th over, and he gets a little bit of bat on there, still didn't middle it. Down through the onside, was very keen on a second, didn't get the support from Afridi at the other end, so it's just the one run. Of course, Shakil Afridi replacing Salman Afridi at the crease. Most famous names in Pakistan cricket. You've got Shaheen Shah Afridi in the lineup at the moment. Shahid Afridi, of course, who debuted at 15 for Pakistan. Yes, that's right, as Dan Lonigan says, allegedly. Get pulled into the onside, no runs.
Oh,
Made the fastest one-day 100 of all time. Shahid Afridi up to that point early in his career. 7 balls. He's been surpassed a few times.
I do say that records are there to be broken, and just the frequency with which they're broken at the moment is quite unbelievable.
Reach a point where it becomes impossible. Last ball of the 10th, that's gone up in the air. The keeper will come back running with the flight, takes the catch comfortably. Not always easy going back with the ball coming over your shoulder, but he holds on to it. The end of the 10th over, a big blow for Pakistan. They're 4 down now at the halfway point. 4 for 42 from 10 overs. They have a change in the commentary position. They'll be back very shortly. Suhas will come back in. And he'd be very delighted. He's got a smile on his face there saying good session. He does join us from India, his first trip to Australia. And his home side doing very nicely as we welcome you, Suhas.
Thank you very much. Even though you've laid it out there, I'm going to be absolutely neutral, don't worry. Yeah, but my first trip to Australia has been excellent so far. I've been getting the right directions from you as well.
We'll have to maybe work through the week ourselves, Dan, and
Right.
recommend a few places that you'll have to see in Melbourne before you jump on the plane, take across. Depends who you can trust with that information.
You can, don't worry about it.
But India would be well pleased with this. They've put the brakes on and they've got rid of most of the top order now.
It's wonderful to see so much support as well, turning up for both the countries.
Definitely. It's a great rivalry. We've heard Pete and Dan talking about it. We're in the crowd, that atmosphere for the T20 World Cup. That's not a phenomenal game of cricket too. Pakistan looked to win it for pretty much all of it, and then Virat Kohli, the rolling stock, India home. But the friendly relationship between spectators before the game, and then obviously once the match starts, it's ultra competitive, and that's probably what they want sport to be. Bowling change here. They might have perhaps persevered with Ghani given how well he was bowling, but they have brought change on here. On him will be no rain pushed down from mid off there for Ronnie. Played twice for his company.
plethora of T20 experience from the IPL franchises that he's played for. Oh, that's connected.
Fielder's getting back. In fact, he's going to hold up. It looked like it had all of the carry out there. I think he's... Goodness gracious me. That looked off the bat like that was going to land in Port Phillip Bay somewhere. But in the end, he's been caught in the deep by Chaudhry. Yeah.
Nick Hill.
That was going and going and going, but the power of that breeze, he just held up, well caught in the deep, and it's 5 down.
Terrific catch. I mean, it was lingering in the air for a long time, and Melbourne wind hasn't been kind to any fielder today.
No.
The ball was swerving in the air, but he kept his eyes on the ball, battled the sun right in his eyes, and completed the catch.
Great sound off the bat too. Long boundary, probably the longest boundary from there. Yeah, that's on the other side. That lands 3 overs across. In the end, he's walking back, and the experienced batter at the crease, the step batter at the crease falls. 5 down now, 42. Looks like it's up in the pile for a while coming into the crease. Sorry, Muhammad Amir coming to the crease. Muhammad Amir.
Known for his bowling exploits.
Exactly, much spoken about career, and the guy that caused all sorts of problems with the ball for both Australia and England at international level. He's got to come in here and do a job with the bat at 7.
Manpreet Ghoni starts off with a dot ball and then picks up a wicket. That ball, I genuinely believe that the sound it made, I thought it's pinging off the bat and you're not going to find it anytime soon.
It looked like it's one of those ones where you get the ting off a golf club and a really flush one and made that lovely sound. It's got up into that breeze and just stayed there. You see the trees with it moving wildly. That would have made all of the difference if it was hitting downwind.
You could sense Manpreet Ghoni suggesting in Punjabi that I'm just letting the ball do its thing, I'm just leaving it out of my hand.
He continues the wicket in his first over, and that one is obviously played. And what a pluck.
Incredible catch. I think it's its country cousin Snatch, because he snatched it out of thin air, diving towards his right when the ball dying on him.
Gandhi, and we asked the question as to whether he was going to bowl out. He didn't, and in the end he takes the catch.
Manpreet, would you believe it, Darren? Manpreet Ghoni is yet to concede a run. He's picked up 2 wickets and he's got a thank you note to write to 2 different players.
The first one was smashed out deep to the boundary. That one was well bowled. Forced him to play that on the up, into the offside, and beautifully taken. Tish Gandhi, who two batsmen, basically one delivery between them to 2 fresh batsmen at the crease.
The Indian fielders would be buzzing at the moment because suddenly it looks like there are 22 of them. They're covering ground, the high catches are being taken, the sharp ones have been taken.
Comes in again. And that was just pushed into the offside. And no run. So first ball faced with the dot at 6 for 42 in the 11th. Pakistan, as you say, in grave danger of getting bowled out. Spoke about that 120, 130 being around about the par mark. We're a long, long way from that at the moment.
The bail keeps falling off, and there is a provision in cricket, isn't it, on windy days.
Well, there it's gone by Pakistan. We've got to try and get a score. We're trying to get 100. 100's got to be the magical number from here, and I can't see it happening.
Manpreet Ghoni's this over sounds like a word from the dictionary there, wow. And that sort of sums up the over itself.
Well, exactly right. It was a fantastic over. And Jatinder Jack bowling from the defender into the ground. And first ball is cut away in the air. Gully Reedy down to 6 for 43. It started as well.
Yeah, Jatinder Jat, a very seasoned campaigner.
2 for 9. It's third over. They are spoke to earlier on, I'll take credit for inspiring me. He saw me and said, "G'day."
Oh,
He's to Tinder again. Pushed into the onside, there's no run. He did all that.
is there any other player that you winked at or waved? I mean, we're just looking for contenders of the players of the match, yeah?
Mohammed Amir, he was too sincere.
Uh,
Individual. Most people.
no, he's a lovely person otherwise.
This is played from the backward point, and there was almost a misfield. That man Gandhi was playing around, maybe boxing, with the batter saying, "Go on, take me on, son, take me on," as is, but he didn't. Played under 19 cricket for Pakistan. They talk about how powerful their team is. So there's 3 cricketers coming from the Tasmanian Premier Cricket competition. And maybe the problem is they haven't gelled yet. Short of a length, expended, down along the offside. Goni does the fielding after getting 2 wickets in the previous over. And it's 6 for 44. That's often the case in any form of cricket, isn't it? That you can have a good team, but if they haven't played much together, no matter what their credentials are, they might struggle.
True, you don't want it to sound like 11 men put together. You're supposed to sound like a team, supposed to look like a team. Looks like India have...
They've got 7 or 8 reserves in here, so they're all brought in here.
yeah,
Tinder bowls again, driven down a bit off. Reasonably close to the wicket. The pace off the shot.
yeah, you've been a part of many sides. Would really like to see how does a leader inspire so that he can reconcile the individual ambitions to the bigger goal, that is the team's goal.
And Seago Rabada has bowled with this outstanding spell to get a lot of early wickets. But in all forms of cricket, you can have low scores, and you just got to back yourself. And it's starting to run with really low scores, you just got to hope that the batters that are in and the different experience to come, if they can just knock it around for a little while and hope they can build a bit of a partnership and get it to 100. It's 100 more than India have got at the start of their innings. I know, again, that's easier said than done, but that needs to be the attitude from here. Goni has got 2 wickets in the last over. 2 one-day international, bowled wide at the off-stump, and it's allowed to pass by bowling.
In T20 cricket, there are no warm-up deliveries, isn't it? Every over that you bowl comprises of 25% of what you can afford. So it's just wonderful that Manpreet Goni has come out all guns blazing. He's got an additional bit of height as well, and he's hitting the right length for the ball to rise. It becomes difficult to negotiate for the lefty.
Put a slip in place, completing outside the off-stump. Good shape, good movement away, the big fella. 38-year-old.
Yeah, it's one thing to get movement, it's quite another to get it so late. As a batter, you've always committed, right? You've committed yourself by plonking the front foot where you wanted to. Is it the situation or is it the wind? What has caused the slip to be there?
I think it's a situation to put more pressure on him because the batter's arm in the end, he gets high up on his crease, thinks about a run, it only gets down at first slip as he jabbed that away and stepped back straight away. Forward, he can't score it. Going is 6 for 45. And on the 13th over, Young is the star of the ball, took an absolutely sensational catch, brilliantly called by Parko.
I think Manpreet Goni is considering conceding a run a crime. It isn't. There you go.
It's a much better shot. There are 2 fielders converging in the deep. One from wideish third man, another one coming around from deep cover, who was involved in that outstanding catch as well. In the deep to dismiss Baba.
Yeah, it first runs off Manpreet Goni. Looks like he won't be.
Peninsular end. It's chopped away down to third man. You'll only get one. Slightly wide then, allowing the batter to open up the face, move forward and get that run.
It's that period of play, and it's that situation where Azizullah and Fawad would not be questioned for taking their own sweet time. And you don't see that often in T20 cricket.
Well, that's right, but I mean, they haven't got heaps of overs, and they haven't got 50 yet. And I know the Thunder have only made 15 the other day, but back India.
I'll tell you what, even if the Thunder wants to forget it, you won't let them.
Oh, I know.
You and Darren.
But if they win the next game,
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll think, well, that's a great comeback. And
Which
they
is
play
tonight,
so
yeah.
if they manage to win tonight, put it behind them, get past 15, there'll be a huge cheer. Here's
May I politely add?
a delivery that has the batter fending off the back foot again, short of a length, and backward point manages to stop it, but they get one run.
Yeah, that's what teams do. Teams bounce back, the good ones, isn't it? May I politely add? India with 36 all out, and then something else happened.
Oh, correct. Well, that's right. I mean, that was one of the most amazing comebacks. I mean, Coley was the captain. Did they play better when he went home?
That's another debate altogether.
The captain's 100 is we're ever likely to see. It was right knuckle stuff at the MCG.
Absolutely, and
Brilliant 100. Under the pump he was. It was superb.
And Pujara.
Dean Elgar, when he chased those runs against India earlier this year, and I know he struggled in this test match, but so did most of his teammates and even the Australians.
Right.
But he got 94 not out against the Indians. And this is what these two batters have got to do. They've got to be there at the end, and they've got to start trying to maybe hit the wind a bit, but it's pretty hard when you're bowling Yorker length, as Jatinder is now. He's into the attack as we've started the 14th over, and the 50's up on the board for Pakistan. They're 6 for 50.
Just love the range that you see here in the Aussie Cricket League. Now, two teams from subcontinent conditions, the first one being Sri Lanka, deployed their spinners, unleashed their spinners, and made a game out of this. And look at India, ever since they got the ball in hand. It's the Pacers doing the talking.
Bar, of course, Gandhi, I think, really slowed it down.
Yeah.
A lot of doubt in the Pakistan's batters' minds.
The 50 has come up, but it's not a celebratory 50. It's been a stutter.
There's been a real stutter. Here's Jatinder again. And as the batter on the back foot, he thought about going for a run, but realised that first slip was there and was reasonably deep, lurking with great intent, almost in a gully region, and he was sent back straight away.
With
The
the,
left-hander, Farwood Maluk.
well, Dan, with the day having progressed, do you think the wicket has changed a bit?
I had a look at it halfway of the Australian-Sri Lankan match. Didn't think there was a lot of grass on it, and they've rolled it again, and I would have thought it would have been even flatter. But
It was a
yeah, their
competition.
bowlers are going well as he tries to go the walk to Jatinder, which was ambitious there by Farwood, and he really only got an inside edge that squeezed onto the boot and rolled behind him. But he was running to the non-danger end, and the man that called him through, Aziz was running to the danger end and had it covered, so they just got him virtually score off every ball, but they're bowling beautifully to their field, and there's a short cover in place, I think 10 metres from the bat, and he's played on to one that kept low, trying to pull that one through the onside, and well, they've got to take risks left, right and centre here, and that wasn't the right shot to a delivery right on line outside the off stump, and he's played it on, and the 7th wicket falls. It's been castled again as is 7 for 51, Pakistan in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, Aziz would be kicking himself, and the coach would not be a happy man at all just because of the shot that was offered. The situation demanded him to play a straight batted stroke and stay there as much as possible. For a ball that is kept low,
Let's have a look at it here. Jatinder
is decided.
13. Yes, he has played that on, looking to pull it through the onside. High shot, and he's carrying it back into his off stump. So 7 for 51 with the 14th over. Farwood is 6, and Umir Butt comes to the crease now. It's a name well known in Pakistani cricket. There was an Ejaz Butt, who was an all-rounder back in the 80s. Played for Pakistan.
I can remember
Like
Salman
Brown,
Butt.
the name Butt in Pakistan.
Yeah.
get to that T20 match yet. We'll be over pretty soon here, I think.
You're very optimistic indeed.
Disappointing batting performance by Pakistan. They're pretty confident coin toss. I noticed Hale, their captain, backs his team and he wants his team to do well. He said, "I'll make plenty of runs and then defend it." That's fine, but they're not making plenty of runs at the moment.
How much is power here? Time for the crystal ball to come out.
Oh, it's got to get to 100.
100 psychological. Now Jatinder's 101.
Anything under 100 is not par.
100 is not par.
No, definitely. 100.
In this part of the world, do you think the dew comes in? How does it talk us through that?
I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, it's still a very pleasant evening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Blue sky. I wouldn't have thought the dew comes in till much. I mean,
No.
the issue's going to be, because we've been running late all day, is that the lights are not put in here yet. And they will be one day here at the Melbourne Cricket Club, run by their great president, Chris Lamb Chops. That's his nickname, Chops, because of after Lamb. And they'll eventually get lights. But last year we had matches finishing a bit late, and the lights weren't quite good enough. So if we get into games which are finishing well after 8 o'clock, that's going to be the big factor. It won't be the dew. We'll be up in a place like Queensland, where it's very humid at this time of the year. Or if you're playing cricket in the Northern Territory at this time of the year, but you're not, you play AFL footy this time of the year because it's the rainy season, even though it's warmer.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So that's the end of the over. 14 gone, 7 for 53. They play cricket up in the Northern Territory in Darwin during our winter in the rest of Australia.
I'll tell you
When it's much better conditions. When I say better, not
Yeah.
as warm or as hot, it's certainly not as humid.
I'll tell you what, when I was packing layers for this particular trip, I was unable to understand the definition of a winter and a summer here in Australia, especially Melbourne.
Well, never understand it because they have 4 seasons in one day.
Oh, there you go.
4 seasons in 1 minute. The way it's been the last 3 or 4 months. To us, it's been unbelievable. We've had the wettest August, wettest September, wettest October, November. Things finally came to it. As I've said a few times, there are a lot of the turf competitions that's resorted to a one-day format like COVID the last 2 years. They didn't get on in October.
Gently driven.
Yes.
I like the fact that he's meeting the ball nicely now. He's allowing the ball to do its thing and not intercepted midway of the bounce. What do you think about this approach? Safer?
It's better. But they need boundaries, and the field's just so good, and they're bowling to their field brilliantly at the moment. This is Wigg back in the attack. He bowled his first 2 overs from the Cranbourne end, or the Casey South Melbourne Cricket Club end. He's now on the Peninsula end, so he's been right on top here, 7 for 54, his figures.
Stephen Wigg.
Final over. And he bowls a slow one. It's flicked away on the onside there for a run off the bat of Umir Butt. He gets off the mark, down towards fine legs, still a stacked offside field. And except that delivery was straight on the leg stump, you'd have to say to us that they're bowled generally to their field. They're bowled beautifully to their field. Very disciplined, the Indians.
True.
They had
There
a
was-
little training session in the nets while the other game was going on for about 40 minutes. So that's fine-tuning the game, I reckon. Beautifully for this.
And Stephen Wigg is just continuing from where he left off in USPL in the US. And of course the minor league, he plays for the Stallions. It was a completely different bowler. Now he's figured out the length so early into the store, and that's something very surprising for me.
So you've been playing in America, Stephen Wigg.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. He's the king of the East Coast when it comes to bowling.
How are they going to go with the World Cup? It'll be good. I mean, it's still a sport that's developing. It's a long way away, isn't it, in America? There are a lot of West Indians are living over there now, which will help them, but they're a long way away from being a competitive nation, aren't they?
They are, to be honest, but the rules of ICC say that you qualify to play for that country, especially a country like America, if you've spent about 3 years there with no intention to go outside the country. And, yeah, I see that there's a lot of different ethnicities combining to play that 11. So I genuinely believe that they've got the talent and they will give a run for the money, especially if they play a lot of games in Florida.
Well, they need as much practice as they can. I mean, that was probably a good thing for some of the countries that came into the T20. You know, they played one-day cricket, but at least they got used to the conditions.
True. As far as the Caribbean flair is concerned, just touching upon that because you asked me that question. I mean, it's a major part of what comprises of cricket in Florida only. If you see America as a whole, then of course the Indians chip in. It's not exactly a diplomat operation, but the Indians, Pakistanis, and you could understand that it's an amalgamation of different cricketing cultures that sort of makes America's own culture, and I love about that country.
Yorker length ball dug out, now along the offside. Wins a left-hander. Far with Malouk's been there a long time for his 9 runs. He's only faced 12 deliveries, and Umair Butt 3 off 3, and it's 7 for 57 in the 15th over. So Florida's where cricket flourishes. We'll get an answer from you in a minute on that. Round the wicket, wig again, and this is Yorker length dug out and down to mid-off, and they'll get a run. He did well to get some bat, not all the bat he wanted, but he did well to keep it out at the same time.
With an effort of this kind, with the effort of this kind, Dan, 58 for 7. Yeah, credit goes to the coach, TP Singh. I saw him have a big conversation with Stephen Wigg, who just arrived from the US yesterday, on what his role exactly is in this multifaceted attack that India sport at the moment, and the plans seem to be working.
2 big left arm quick opening bowlers. Now this is in the air, it's a high one. The wicket keeper's camped underneath it. He should take the catch, and he does. And he does. He got a top edge and it got big on him as he dug it in, Wig. And there wasn't much there that Umair Butt could do. He tried the hook shot, but it was onto him quicker than he anticipated. He put it straight in the air, and another comfortable catch completed. The 8th wicket goes down. It's 8 for 58 as we approach the end of the 15th over. And we might have an early finish tonight in this Pakistan-India game, which everyone's been waiting for. And at the moment, it's one-way traffic.
Now, that was in the air for a long time, and you always let the man with the gloves take the catch if he has an opportunity to. Quite comfortable underneath this one. Stephen Wigg being rewarded for what consistency looks like. Was only giving away singles, wanted to up the ante. Perished in the process there. Pakistan 11 lose another 58 for 8. They are tottering.
Well, here's Sahil. He is a combative cricketer. He absolutely loves it. Yeah. He was pretty confident beforehand. He'll be out there now. His attitude will believe. We've still got 5 overs to go. We've still got 2 wickets left. Anything can happen. Yes, you could lose 2 wickets in 2 balls and be all over for 58, but you could also get 42 off the next 5 or do what Sri Lanka did, get 34 off 3 overs, which helped them win the game.
Yeah, they had
Australia earlier today.
They had wickets in hand though.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
Exactly right. They've got too many in hand here, but he's a very positive man. I've spoken to Sahil many times. He plays cricket all year round. They have. I'm just not sure whether they've gelled yet as a team.
Yeah, but it's going to be a jolt if this game doesn't go in their favour.
Yeah.
Because usually you want to start off well when you're trying to set the certain rules for the side, but you never know. You could use the wounded lion theory as well. That's sport for you.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's sport for you, and that's exactly why we love calling it too. The story keeps changing. Stephen Wigg has been excellent. 5 runs, all of them in singles, and then a wicket to finish his over, finish his quarter, finishes with 15 for 2.
This is swung away. The 2 fielders are out in the deep. Chowdhury does well to pick it up. He took a great catch early days, and he has patrolled the deep magnificently today in front of the 2 teams' dugouts, Pakistan and India.
Kudos to the skipper though, the way he's covered the angles here. Your thoughts on that?
So far at 11. 8 for 59. Push back to the bowler. Third innings follow through. This is Purujar bowling now. It's been dropped here as it's been turned into the onside, and a rare fumble and a rare mistake in the field by the Indians. Have been red hot today. They've caught everything. They've fielded everything cleanly, but they weren't able to get the result on that occasion. So it's 8 for 60 now in the 16th over. Has the worm turned ever so slightly? Suhas for Pakistan late in their innings.
Perhaps this is an opportunity that they'll be thankful for. Now they've quietly picked up a single here, the batters.
Pulled away out to mid-wicket. Again getting on the back foot, using the crease, as you said a bit earlier, to get another run. He's doing the best he can far left to try and get his team going.
A lot of
Changes being made to the field again. Straight cover. Short cover point.
oh, got him. He's got him. Yes.
If he bowled him. No, he's bowled him. He has bowled him. It's taken the bail. Certainly beat him and he bowled him. So another wicket goes. And the 9th wicket down. So Hale, the captain, departs for 1. And they are now 1 wicket away from being bowled out. Well inside 20 overs. Well short of 100.
Yeah, the coach keeps telling you, top of the off stump, and this is what the coach would be mighty proud of. The ball turning ever so slightly, just enough to trouble the batter.
He gave him a little bit of room there and got beaten all ends up.
And
It's 9 for 61. And all the bowlers have shared in the spoils. Puru Gore, all except the man that probably bowled the best spell. He really tightened it up.
Dan,
And then, of course, was Gandhi, and then he took that spectacular catch.
that is true. Dan, perhaps you were right in another regard as well. Who else wants to join me to the G?
Well, we'll get you there, I think. Heading in that direction, so we'll get you there.
No, slip in place, understandably so. Won't be surprised if he wants to put a short leg in place too.
Last over.
Slow.
Pushed into the offside. So 16 gone. Puru Gore, 1 for 3 from 1 over. Farber is 12 and Kwama Awan is at the crease facing that 1 delivery. So 4 to go. Darren Parkin will bring us home. I don't know how long home is or how far away home is in this innings. Pakistan in 9 for 61 after 16 overs. It has been an outstanding bowling and fielding display by the Indians. More from Suhas and then Parker will join you on Punjab Radio for the Australian Cricket League Day 1.
Indeed, Sri Lanka winning the first match of the day. India, would think, very likely to win the second. Of course, still to go and get them, but executed everything pretty much perfectly with the ball. Pakistan, they've left quite a few out there. They won the toss, batted first, and just haven't been able to get going.
I don't think the decision was wrong.
No.
Just the shot selection was awful. And that's something the coach will definitely discuss. The game's not done yet. He's offered the shot to it. Just about. Yeah.
Have the carry. Positive shot, positive batting, but yeah, as you say, I think I've got a right to get first use of it. Good time of the day to be batting. You get the chance to bowl as the light starts to fade a little bit later on, but they just haven't executed what they needed to. Long way to go in the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. But in this round, he's not going to bowl out his 4 overs. This time he'll be bowling 3 at max, I feel. Or do you think he'll be bowling 4?
I think probably 3.
4?
I think it's now or the next over. It's a dug in to the hip and pick up a run into the offside there. 9 for 63 or 63 for 9. Leg by there, that one coming off the hip, I think.
Pakistan still in imminent danger of being bundled out before the allotted 20. The only goal in their mind right now should be to play the allotted 20 overs. And if they can play that with shots of this kind, it definitely helps. Well, he had minimum width, but he was able to operate within that. Once the gap was pierced, the outfield carried it.
Shot of the day, just about. Shot of innings, rather, obviously second game, but Pakistan, that's about as fluent as they've looked. Driving it all along the carpet, it raced to the boundary. There is protection out there, but struck it so well that they weren't able to get anywhere near that. So, credit to the batsman, 67 for 9. So they try to hit the boundary a couple of times, or do they bat out these 21 balls and try to get a run of ball and give themselves at least something to unleash Muhammad Amir?
Where is the Yorker there? Oh no, he's gone for the short delivery. No control on that whatsoever. The second run is not on. The problem was only one of the batters thought there was a second run on it.
And no damage done, thankfully. He was able to get back, but interesting field. long gap out.
Yeah, it's getting there, yeah.
Yeah, given the position India find themselves in to concede their run like that.
To make your plans to the G work, I think you're expecting a short leg.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Now, do you think this will go a distance of 20 overs? If it does, it's a moral victory for Pakistan at this stage. It's a mental victory there.
It is, but it would also show India in a way too that you can, if you actually apply yourself, you can. It's not a scary pitch. It's not a minefield per se. It's not a lot of grass on there. The bounce is a bit uneven, not a lot of pace, but. For Pakistan, if they bat time, they've got to try to score off every delivery.
True.
But, I guess for them, that's really the only goal from here.
Yet to see a Barinder Sran Yorker. The branded Yorker. We're yet to see that.
Get one more chance in a moment. Pick up another run there, but not a bad over, obviously, that boundary and 8 runs in all.
Yeah, at the end of 17, 70 for 9.
So do they get to the 19th over and allow him the chance to bowl out, or will the innings end here potentially?
Looks like it's going to be the spinner to continue.
17 overs, 70 for 9. Start. Of course, 4 teams in this competition last year, 6 this year with the introduction of Afghanistan and a World 11. Australia, India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka are part of proceedings 12 months ago.
I think it's a wonderful concept of having a World 11 because suddenly you see that the Asian region is covered.
Yeah. And then
And you have Australia in between.
you could conceivably probably muster up a New Zealand 11 if you wanted to. But the
You
World
st-
11 encapsulates.
You're still searching for the person who's turned up in that jersey, aren't you? You're still searching for him.
He was here. He might be here tomorrow. He might have rounded up 11 mates or 10 mates. But I'm like, you're the only country not playing. He's here somewhere.
Oh, would you believe it? It's quietly tucked away. I mean, it's going to be an awkward singles to finish off. You think at some stage they'll be tempted to go for a big shot.
Yeah, you'd think so. Obviously, Farman's reasonably set. He's chance top score, really, if he hasn't already at 19 not out. But he's the one who might look at it and go, I can find the boundary twice, nudge it around. We might be able to get to 90, 95. Muhammad Amir gets the new ball, you never know.
The 95...
The score is 81.
81, projected score is 81. If they can time their aggression well, 95 perhaps is on the cards. But again, the risk factor is immense. That's a good shot, yeah.
They're very safe down there. They've got long on and long off quite wide. So just belted that straight back past the umpire. Very controlled shot for 4.
Yeah, some momentum to Pakistan 11. That's a very good shot indeed. He made his mind up as well, blocked his foot so far away, the front foot, that he allowed enough room for the bat to come through. And he's chosen a very good area straight down the ground. You can't set a fielder there. A good outfield means the fielder hardly makes it to the frame before it makes it to the fence. Gently guided.
You never see that fielder anymore, but I think about 100 years ago they used to have a fielder. This is the straight stop, I think.
Long stop.
Yeah, long stop.
Long stop. Long stop's exactly behind the wicketkeeper.
Yes. And I think a couple of times it was introduced straight down the ground with a long on or long off the field behind the bowler.
I'll tell you what, with the long stop, I think Dilshan made a great case for the long stop to come back into the game.
With the ramp straight
Yeah.
over the head. I went to a demonstration in one of the master classes of basically inventing that shot. It feels like a frightening shot to play. Like you got every chance
Yeah.
of pulling that back up into your face. Or
There's one more person in the Associate World of Cricket, Oman batter Jatinder Singh. He sort of mastered this stroke. But he plays it for a different reason. You try and pick his brains, he says that shot is not to show the skill that I have. That shot is to induce a field change so that I could play better shots.
yeah, absolutely. It's to move a fielder to open up something on the offside or the onside. As that's played in the air very nicely, and it'll be another boundary. If that gets a signal from the Indian fielder that it's gone for 6.
Love this fearless brand of cricket. He's missed the mark and Fawad has decided to pounce on it. It wasn't very short either. Ah, yeah. Clean hit, no half measures whatsoever. And the fact that it's travelled the distance tells you how clear he was in his mind that he wants to offer the full throttle. Yes, the wickets might read 9 of them, but he's looked at the opportunity that the ball presents itself and not the scorecard. 81 for 9. He's got to throw caution to the winds.
Most productive stage of the innings, 26 off 23. They're finishing okay, but obviously haven't set a strong enough platform, but that's played away well, and it's been fielded just inside the boundary. They'll pick up 2, but Farwood showing some of the batsmen above him in the order what might have been with a little bit of application. 9 for 83.
Sran losing his footing there, giving a hiccup to the bowling coach because the tournament's just started.
I've seen that. Sean Tate was one who had that happen to him a little bit. Craig McDermott used to see him follow through a bit.
The problem with Sean Tate being the bowler wasn't the follow-through for a batter, it was being at the other end, the striker's end. There was sheer pace.
Yeah, it was express pace.
Yeah.
It was a wide as well.
So he's got to re-bowl this one. He's got to re-bowl.
Creeping away a little bit. Good observation. A bit wide's bowled, and even in that Australia-South Africa test match, Australia was set 34 to win. There were 15 wides, like 3 lots of 5.
Wides in a test match, even if it's a wide, the umpire doesn't give it usually.
Well, 3 wides that went for 4, so 5 wides 3 times.
You're telling me, out of 34, 15 wides, you're telling me that the umpire stood like a scarecrow.
Yeah. It's gone straight up over the top of the head.
And still Australia managed to lose wickets. Unbelievable.
So if South Africa, if you take the wides off, there were 19 extras, so Australia would be 4 for 15.
Yeah.
South Africa might fancy their chances, who knows?
There you go.
Pagisa Rabada took all 4 of those wickets. Now he's a star.
Temba Bavuma wants to talk to you, my friend.
Another one with a unique bowling action and played a miss outside off stump aggression from Farwood, but unable to make contact. So we've got 8 balls left in the innings, provided there's not a wicket.
The 3 things that Barinder Sran prides himself and his pace with. One's that bouncer, the lethal yorker that changes its course at the last moment, and then the slower delivery. Haven't seen any of them being executed. Look at this one. This is trickled away to the fence. This time behind square. Just love the way that he's exploring new areas of the ground.
Again, I'm curious as to the field in this situation. I know he's batting well, but India are right on top in the game. And that's a little bit of protection on the onside through that big wicket region, but left a big gap for that one to go away to the boundary. And I know he's clearing the infield, but I just think maybe a little bit more attacking. A few more fielders up on the ring and say, look, mate, if you want to stay on strike, you're going to have to hit over the top of this. 9 for 88.
Where is that wide yorker hiding? Did he forget to unpack it once he came to Australia? This is much better.
And he'll keep the strike. And he will forward with a single. Moves to 33. 1 over to go, 9 for 89.
6 more balls to go. Can they survive here, Pakistan? 95 is on the cards, by the way.
100,
Yeah.
actually. So 11 required for him to get to 100. And psychologically, whilst India would still be very much favoured in the game, psychologically 100 Pakistan bowlers would just feel at the top of their marks that they've got something to play with. They could get in there and just get a couple of early strikes. They've got a bit of pace, we know, in this Pakistan side. They said they could defend anything. They're going to have to pull out all stops. So that over 14 runs from it, a 6 and a 4. Significantly for Pakistan, Farwad on strike on 33. Dan Lonergan lending me the oldest binoculars in Australia. Still work a treat.
Yeah.
Straight out of a museum into the
Right.
9 for 89 reverse sweep 2, but doesn't beat the circle.
Everything went right there for the batter. Gets it from the middle of the bat. Except for the fact that he didn't take into account that, yes, there is a fielder placed. He was trying to hit it in the gap, and sometimes you just want to believe that this bat acts like a protractor to get the angle right. If he gets the angle right, that's 4 written over it.
It is. He's come down the track here to Gore and just jammed it into the ground. Now he has another crack at it, reaching from outside off stump, dragging it through mid-wicket.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all at this stage as well. India want forwards to be at the non-strikers end. It's one threat neutralized now. He's asking Qamar to pick up a single so that he can face the other two.
Yeah.
Or would he ask Qamar to go for the big shot? Because that is another risk involved.
That's right.
Because Fawad's the one finding the middle of the bat. Qamar is hardly bought the middle of the bat out there.
Yeah, you almost feel, with 3 to go, that maybe the first one he tries to get down the other end. If he can't, then just a free swing on the last two. So maybe this one is the single play.
Or probably they're telling themselves, Fawad or Qamar, anyway, we're going to swing the bat as hard as we can. Qamar, go for it.
If this is a dot, though, then I reckon he gets
Yeah.
the licence to swing. Trying to get down the other end off this delivery, and he has actually gone with the hoik down the ground and badly struck. And in fact, they're actually going to come back for two, and that might be the end of the innings. As he got through, he has. So gets a round of applause. The non-strikers end. 9 for 92.
92, 2 to go.
Sorry, he's got the licence based on the way he played
Yeah.
that one and the fact that he got back for two. That's a fuller delivery, changed the pace up a little bit. Just pops it into the ground and bounces it back to the bowler, no run. One to come.
Now your question comes up. Watch out for the non-strikers start.
Yeah, this is where he'll start to move, and this one's...
No, he doesn't.
Swing, and he's hit it pretty well. There is coverage in the deep, though, along the carpet to long on. So a good tidy partnership to finish the innings. It was worth 33. It just pushed Pakistan from down and out at 9 for 60 to something of a chance at 9 for 93. India would very much be pleased with the way the 20 overs have unfolded, but Pakistan not without a hope.
Yeah, might be a little below par, but with their bowling lineup head by Mohammad Amir, they would believe that 93 might be made to look enough, and being sharp on the field is going to be one of the key things if you want to make 93 look like 110 at least. And Pakistan would start to decide that and discuss that in just a moment's time. Well, 94 is the magical number that India are looking for to put the first points on the board and start this tournament on a high. Will they be able to get there? We'll wait and watch as we'll bring every ball of the run chase in just a moment.
Yeah. They haven't made enough, but at least they got a flurry at the end there. They're going to have to take 4 wickets in the power play, maybe 3 or 4 in the power play. You and Pistol.
I informed captain by 4 minutes. 18 only bowled by 645, so 2 over 5. 10 runs to 40.
Then it becomes par.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
The went over the time limit, so they get 10 runs penalty.
I gave a lot.
Would you believe it? Despite all that diving,
So it becomes 104 to win.
Big trade, tried to do us in the pieces for an early mark. Muhammad Amir gets tries to make it 150. Welcome back. So there's been a bit of drama after the Pakistan innings finished at 9 for 93. What happened was, according to the umpires, the Indians went over time with their overs, so they've awarded Pakistan an extra 10 runs. And Pete Laser, it means when I was speaking a little bit earlier to Sue House, I thought 100 would be par when they were 7 for 57. They've now got 103 thanks to that extra 10 runs. So it makes it interesting if the great Muhammad Amir can get going early.
5 penalty runs per over and 2 overs behind. We're given 3 or 4 warnings by the umpire saying that they were behind during that time, so that's where the 5 runs per over comes from. 2 overs behind equals 10 runs, 103, still below par for mine, but with a good bowling attack, they're going to have to absolutely catch everything and give it everything, but you just never know. Cricket is a funny game, as my grandfather always used to say.
Everyone's grandfather has said it's a funny game, there's no doubt about that. Here's the great Muhammad Amir, 119 test wickets. Oh, what a beauty that was. Thank you very much. Welcome, son. That is an absolute corker.
Dan, you're meant to be commentating, not barracking.
I'm doing both.
I know you're doing both.
Basic, oh, how good was that? Muhammad Amir, 119 test wickets. He was taking 5 wicket hauls for fun as a 17, 18-year-old. But most young men still weren't shaping in this country. Here's Muhammad Amir in again. In the orange boots he bowls, and it's turned down on the onside by Prince, the captain. There's no run, it's none for none. Chasing 104 to win.
I'll tell you what I don't mind though, the skipper walking out there and taking the first ball and going, righto, I'll take this, away we go. This is good captaincy, it's good leadership to get out there, face the first pill. Prince, quietly spoken when we were out at the coin toss, quietly spoken chap, but a very good player. And if anyone can solidify the top of the order here for India, it's the skipper.
Chowdhury's outstanding in the field, a great catch in the deep and fielded brilliantly as well with his ground fielding. All good delivery, short of a length, and almost got him on the glove there. Great bowling.
Is there an element to India's batting when they say, okay, Mohammad Amir is obviously world class, he has been for many years, he's a really good bowler. He can only bowl 24 of the 120 deliveries. We only need 103. Just get out of the way of him at the moment.
Sri Lanka did that against Greville last year. He didn't play for India tonight in the final. Here he is again, Muhammad Amir, and it's whipped down a fine leg. In fact, through backward square, past fine leg, and that was angled on the leg stump, and that's an outstanding leg lance. The Dan Lonergan specialty, but played much better than I would ever play it. It's none for 4 in the opening over.
And that's the other part, he's always looking to score. You're chasing a small total. The best way to get to a small total is get to it quickly. Get those balls, it's on your pads, he's very well balanced batter, just whips it backward a square for 4. Mohammad Amir, you know he's going to be attacking the stumps. You know he can swing the ball both ways. I'm surprised he hasn't gone with 2 slips, a short leg, really attacking. Go the other way. If Pakistan's going to win, they've got to win.
Here's Muhammad Amir again. He's just got 1 slip in place. Yet another quick left arm. We had 2 up in the bowling for the Indians, and they ripped through the Pakistani top orders. Helped by Ghani's 4 very fine overs of left arm spin.
I was just thinking, if you're defending a small total, I was thinking when it was 93, now it's 103, it's still a small total. You got someone of this quality who can really, he can swing it in, he can take it away, he can use the angle, but he can also get one into your armpit. Look to take wickets early.
Muhammad Amir on the Cranbourne end. It's driven into the offside. It's the Yorker length ball again dug out. Well, it's a good opening over. Prince did pretty well. Muhammad Amir bar 1 ball on the leg stump did pretty well. 4 runs from it, none for 4. Remembering, because the umpires felt that they had gone over, bowled basically 2 extra overs, didn't they, really, with the wides as well. That didn't help their cause. It might have been a little bit of a home call. The umpires felt that they went over time.
Well, it's not a no,
10 runs, Pakistan.
but it's not. No, it's not a feeling. It's a calculation. The umpire doesn't get a feeling, a vibe. It's not a feeling whatsoever. It's a calculation based on time.
Well, it is a calculation based on time, but don't you take into account the lines?
Calculation based on time. That's what it is. Yeah, if the umpires could say it, they say, well, it's nothing personal.
You think all umpires will do it in every game?
That's what they're instructed to do, yes. That's why you get outstanding...
Asking, I mean, they're instructed to do it, but would they do it?
Yes.
You think they would?
The good umpires would, yes. The ones who want to get to the next level and the next standard.
Well, also,
That's what good umpires do.
The umpire came in and he was very strong in his views and said...
Warn them 4 times.
Well, he will be okay. The warning was obviously gone on deaf ears with Indians. This is pushed into the offside for the right armour, opening the attack for the Pakistanis.
It's you but.
Yes, batted low in the order. We can thank Farwood for giving you a score to 93. He made 34. Farwood look, and Flower Amir got 7. They put on a beautiful partnership at the end. And then the extra 10 runs that come on the course because they've gone over with their overs. Here's them in one again. Oh, beaten outside the off stump. He hung the bat out to dry then.
It's a beautiful line, isn't it? Especially when you've got batters who you know are going to be looking for runs. You've got to attack the stumps, but you can't be overly attacking. So maybe that's the flip side of what I was saying with Amir. You need to make sure that when you're bowling, you're not actually trying to get 10 wickets in 10 balls. You can still build to your innings by forcing them to take those risks. And we could see driving on the up was almost impossible in that first innings. And it wasn't easy to do in the Australia-Sri Lankan game earlier on either.
Two left arms from Wigan, who's played a lot of cricket over in America. There's Butt again, pushed down along the onside, Chowdhury. Close together, no run.
There's a T20 competition, Major League Cricket, coming to America. And hopefully one of the Melbourne Stars boys wants to get involved in that over there. I know Adam Crosswaite's been big on it, the ex-Victorian wicketkeeper, who's now captain of St Kilda. He's very keen. He went over there for a bit of coaching and a good stint over there. And one of the bowlers from the Melbourne Stars was just having an off-the-record chat earlier on. He wants to get over there for 3 weeks. Tournament over and done within 3 weeks. Loads of cricket. Been there, done that, done.
This is slammed away, lofted away over the infield on the onside. It was in the swinging arc, that delivery from Butt, allowing Chowdhury to get 2 handy runs as it lobs clear of the field. Inside the circle on the onside of mid-wicket.
And so those leagues will continue to get better and better, like our Aussie Cricket League here. The second iteration is going to be better than the first. And
Expand outside Florida. And Florida's massive, which is great.
most people go to Florida and then expand.
You lunatic. Here's Butt in again. He bowls on the morning of Peninsula Regis. You are a lunatic. And it's knocked away to the onside. And there's no run. I'm just going to let that one go straight through to the wicket keeper by shouldering arm. People know here in the space. It's been a long day and he's only been here for half of it. Number 6.
I've actually been here longer than you have.
Already pushed out of Melbourne Stars across the road earlier today. Working it, but bowls and ball gets it inside edge. Chowdhury didn't know where that was. The old-fashioned French cup wanders away behind square on the onside.
The French get quite a bit of kudos for cricket shots, like French cricket, French cut, and yet I haven't seen them in a World Cup for a while. No. So 2 overs gone, and both the batters have looked to score. They're looking busy. I suppose one of the traps you can fall into when chasing 104 is you leave it to someone else. You just want to be there. You let the overs flow, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're 5, 6, 7 overs into your innings. What they need to do is keep looking to score and keep that scoreboard ticking over. Try and shorten the game. They should be looking to get this target in 12 overs, 14 overs. And then if it takes them 15 or 16, that's okay. If they just go, no, we've got 20 overs, we can only go at 5 and over, that's when sometimes you can get yourself into trouble and get a bit of concrete feet. So I like their intent of looking to score. Change of bowling.
Yeah, Mohammed Amir's up after 1 over. That's interesting. Did you do that or would you give him a second over?
It depends. If maybe he wants to swing around, bowl with the wind. He might want to bowl from the grandstand end. If I've got Mohammed Amir in my side, I'm probably asking what he wants and then doing that.
story is that they went overtime. The umpire gave them 4 warnings, the Indians, in their bowling innings.
I think the biggest story is that Pakistan didn't bat very well at all.
Well, they certainly did not. They were terrible. Played some ball shots, didn't they? Classes of this one, tried to hit it a bit too hard, Prince, to a stacked offside field, doesn't score.
But the Pakistani fielders, the bowlers, they look like they're up for the fight here, which is also good because sometimes you can walk off. You've made 93, you can have your head down, your tail between your legs a little bit, thinking, well, that's not enough. We're not going to be able to defend it. But they're out there and they're genuinely going to have a crack at defending this, which is good also because you've got to remember they're going to be playing a couple of games in the group. And so it's important that even if you don't necessarily win this game, that you can still get positives out of it for their next game down the track. Because we've got 6 teams involved in the Aussie Cricket League 2.0. He's pulled that to cover.
He has, it was an interesting shot, wasn't it? Now, we didn't mention that the opening bat, I'm not sure how to read what it is, Jessica Singh, who took a number of catches and the wicketkeeper did an outstanding job. So he's opening the bat with...
Tarinder Prince, the skipper of the Indian 11 here.
And Zizula, an under-19 player for Pakistan. Underseen had played some lead-up matches against Australia a few years ago, and there was a young left arm. And he was in Akram saw for the first time as Jaskar's beaten outside the off-stump by Aziz. And it was on the Sunday, Pete. Wasim Akram came and watched this young left arm bowl, and he said to us, "Who is he?" I said, "Oh, well, he's been playing under 17s and under 15s." So he went down and watched him. He bowled 4 overs, and he took him off because he wanted to practice with him. Shahid Shah Afridi.
I reckon if Wasim Akram sees a left armer bowling and says, I want to have a chat to him, you could not get off the ground quick enough.
Absolutely. When he came and saw them, they all stood up like he was the king.
Well, he is.
They were batting when he arrived. It was unbelievable to watch him. Edgy, if there was a second slip, they might have been in trouble. First slip was sort of half dived in that direction, but it got past him. It was a thick edge. It was an intended edge. It was good bowling by Aziz. He managed to get the edge of Jaskar's bat, but he's got 4 runs, and they all are handy for the Indians in the third over.
May have mentioned that a second slip would be handy early on. If you're going to be trying to take wickets, it's the only way to do it. I'd actually leave, knowing how hard it is to drive on the up. Do you need an extra cover and a mid-off? Like maybe combine those fields and encourage that shot. I just think sometimes we go a little defensive in a T20 game.
Jaskar, the wicketkeeper, opening the batting. Dabs into the offside, played close to the body. Good bowling, right on line, outside the off stump to his field on that occasion by Azizullah. He generally won that over. Number 4, 3 overs gone, chasing 104 to win. And the Indians have made a good start.
Wasim Akram, of course, married an Australian, Shanira Thompson. And Shanira had been involved in a lot of PR work and media work over the course of time. So we caught up, and I've known her for a very long time, caught up the Adelaide Oval when Australia and Pakistan playing a couple of years ago. And you should have seen the amount of tables just turn around when Wasim he went to get a beer. I said, I'll get you a beer. And there would have been 30 tables who were all going, even if I don't know who that is, he's got this magnetism to him. His presence in a room is just fantastic. And he's actually quite softly spoken. He's just such a lovely man. Genuinely one of my favourites, and spends a bit of time in Australia, which is great.
Oh, he hits the batter on the pad. Prince, start of a new over. That was pretty close. The umpire says leg by, not out. We might have a look at the replay here. Butt bowling the first ball of a new over. Oh. Maybe slightly high, but that was the only thing I reckon saved him because you couldn't see the stumps.
If there's any doubt, it's not out. That's the rule. If there's any doubt, the umpire can't give it out, and I agree with that. If it's not dead hitting the middle of the stumps, and if it has to be the knee roll, I reckon. He did shuffle a long way across. If I was the keeper, which I'm sure they're saying at the moment, the Pakistan fielders, I'd be just reminding him: you keep walking across, you keep kicking off the stumps. One of them is going to be given. That is, it's as close as you're going to get to be not out, but still not out.
Fritz. Oh, he got one where it hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, in fact, it's Jaskar facing now.
The-
5 on 12. It's 5 on 8.
That can hurt you physically, but you know, if it hits you in the stumps, it hurts you even more than that. Every batter knows that. I'd rather have a bruised thumb and still be out there. Hit you in the stumps, not so fun.
Down the ground now, he is absolutely launched at that. Throwing the kitchen sink and everything else that exists in the kitchen at that one and got a boundary. Slightly over pitch, but it wasn't the worst ball you've ever seen, and he's just said, well, I'm going to have a crack. Jaskar, the wicket keeper, and he hits a magnificent boundary for India, who are now none for 15 in the fourth over, chasing a further 89 for victory.
Probably didn't try to overhit it, which was good as well. He struck it beautifully and firmly. As soon as it went past mid-off, it was 4. And that's what we were saying in the Pakistan innings. You don't have to try and slay them here at Casey Fields. You just have to get it past, hit it and time it well enough, and it's a boundary.
The outfield is absolutely light. And this is terrible bowling because it's down the leg side, and deep backward square isn't fine enough to stop that. And he just helps that on its way, guides it down towards fine leg. Jaskar or Bucks bowling. He's disappointed at the bottom of his field, and they can never afford consecutive boundaries when they've only got 103 on the board.
Yeah, it was just on the pads. That's money for Jam for an opener who just turns it around. And again, didn't try and overhit it, just nicely balanced. Batting is different than it used to be. It's not about necessarily your feet position and your head position. It's just about being balanced and comfortable with your technique. And that was beautifully played.
Drives the next one down to mid-on. Muhammad Amir is there. Those boots stand out like a carpet snake in a flower house. You know where he is on the cricket field. It's none for 20. The end of the fourth over. Have you ever seen a carpet snake in a flower house?
Well, according to you, it's impossible to. And you probably should concentrate more on how many balls have been bowled in the over so you know when the over's finished, Dan, as opposed to worrying about how the zoo's going at your house. People are more worried about the carpet snake at your place.
Well, he does. You know where he is everywhere with those orange boots. Last ball of the over, and it's defended back up the wicket.
A normal person would probably say stands out like a beacon. Well, that is probably the biggest understatement we've heard in the Aussie Cricket League in 2 years.
2 overs, none for 11. And it is none for 20 after 4. They need 84 to win. India after Pakistan were disappointing. It was 93, but they went a bit too long. The umpire gave them 4 warnings, and 10 runs added on, 5 runs for each over. And it's too long as far as the umpires.
So,
Be bowled like they've bowled 22 overs and they should have been bowled.
and this is the difference in chasing as well. You know you've got a relatively small total that you're chasing. Pakistan were 2 for 23. They had more runs on the board, but they'd already lost a couple of wickets, and they consistently lost wickets throughout their innings, and that's how they never really got momentum. Whereas India here chasing, they know they don't have to compete with where Pakistan were. They just need to get to 104 before they're allotted 20 overs, and they're looking quite comfortable at the moment.
Umar Butt. Edging, no. Deep, no, absolutely.
As he's on now. Zizala, who bowled a good first over. He's got good pace with him. But we've seen quite a few quick bowlers here today. I'm enjoying the pace that both India and Pakistan have shown. I don't think it's.
Trying to get the spinners as they did last year, and these two teams have gone all out fight so far. This is hit in the air, and it will clear long on. That is an outstanding shot by Jaskar. A boundary just inside the rope it landed, rolls into the rope before, and long on. Magnificent stand and delivery blocked over the infield by big Jaskar Singh, the wicketkeeper. 18 off 17 now. That's a great shot.
Very good shot. Was in the slot though. It's the first one we've seen in that really easily drivable sort of length. 2 full on the stumps. I don't mind the attacking the stumps, but you've got to either take the pace off or you've got to be really quick, and that was just medium pace and in the slot. Really beautiful shot though.
This is Ziz again, racing in, storming in, bowls again, opens the play, soft hands, works it down to Owen, who was involved in that last wicket partnership. Let's do it overnight. 10 were at it.
This is good batting. This is really clever batting from the Indian openers. Just think about the risks they're taking or not taking is probably the other way. They're just using the pace of the ball when it's there. They're not trying to hit balls that aren't there to hit. I've really enjoyed this opening partnership so far.
Side. He's been strangled down the leg side. He has. He's gone. And that might have a lot to do with the fact that he spent a lot of time on the non-strikers end and didn't get a chance to face enough deliveries, and the strangulation down the leg side is an unlucky way to go out. But an important wicket for the Indian, for the Pakistanis. Maybe also an important wicket for India because they were going so well. 1 for 25, they could ill afford to lose. And Prince departs for 5 in the fifth over at 1 for 25, needing a further 79.
I don't think that was down the leg side. I thought that was an inside edge. He was trying to glide that down. I look forward to seeing a replay there. Either way, didn't move the feet, wasn't balanced at all. His head was away from where the ball was. We'll get a replay of that wicket shortly. But it's a big wicket, though. Let's have a look. He does shuffle across a lot, though, doesn't he, Prince? We saw that early on with the LBW shout as well.
Yeah, it was. It was in, you're right. He took it down the leg side and took the base of the bat.
Just an inside edge, and they were up straight away. They knew it was an inside edge. But again, you're right, still shuffled across and then played away from his body. We talk about balance and we talk about positioning. You don't have to move your foot to where the pitch of the ball and have the toe pointing to the cover. None of those teaching techniques, coaching techniques are used anymore. But you do have to be balanced when you play your shot, and you do have to make sure that if you're using your eye, that you know exactly where that's coming in. And it's well bowled from Aziz. He took a risk and he got the wicket. The captain's gone.
1 for 9. Sherrard is at the crease now with Jaskar. And he defends, nose over the ball, back up along the wicket, good bowling outside the off-stump.
That's the old school defensive shot.
Correct.
Haven't seen many of those in T20 cricket. Haven't seen many of them today. Pakistan probably could have done with this.
I remember he played 100 in Sri Lanka. I reckon that nose was almost on the pitch every time he played his forward defensive.
T20 cricket, there's still a spot for good cricket shots and a good defence.
Unorthodoxy brings in bad habits, I reckon. Here's Aziz again, bowls. Ball hit on the pad. He's out. He's been given out. I wonder whether it was a little bit high. And he was looking to pull that on the onside. It wasn't the right shot to play. And he comes right across his stumps. And Sherrard is gone. And all of a sudden, India get 2 wickets in the 1 over. Or lose 2 wickets in the 1 over. Pakistan get back in it for Aziz. And he has the figures of 2 for 9. And India chasing 104 to win. The Mountain getting a bit bigger, Pete. 2 for 25.
It looked out live, I must say. It looked absolutely plumb. Let's have another look at it. Aziz was happy with his own work. He gave it, and the umpire agreed.
The batsman's got his back to us. I wonder it was a little bit high. But anyway, the umpire's there, and he took his time. He's very deliberate. His decision is given the decision he thought was right. And again, I reckon, when it comes, and I've done a lot of umpiring, there's no doubt you have, when it comes to giving the LB, you probably have to find a reason not to give it out. He's obviously thought about it. Thought, well, no, I reckon it's hitting. I don't reckon it's high enough. So he's out. If it's straight.
It was straight, and I reckon it hit him on the knee roll. I don't reckon he moved his feet at all. I'm happy with that. I reckon that's hit him adjacently. And I must say, as he's thought, that was out straight away. A lot of bowlers do. I get that, but that was a genuine appeal, like I've got him here. So 5 overs gone, 2 for 25. India are in trouble, and funnily enough, both teams after 5 overs, 2 for 25.
Well, these 10 runs might be the difference here and could put the cat among the pigeons. Here's Darren Parker for the next 5 overs with feet laser. They need a further 79 to win. Now India with 8 wickets in.
2 for 25.
So as you mentioned, Pakistan were 2 for 23. And India had the advantage of not having lost wickets. That's the equation has changed.
Now it's identical after 5 overs. Yeah. Not that it matters. I think that is always a silly comparison, but from contextually when you're chasing, you can just see, okay, well, you can either accelerate when you go or wickets in hand or whatever it happens to be.
They've got one of the set players that's still the majority of the runs. He's still there. It's around 19. He's close to the strike. And he is on strike now, and that one jumped up at him. Hit him up shoulder above the elbow. Plays it down into the ground, survives, but nasty delivery.
No, and Amir, of course, coming on from this end, we thought that might be a chance. He's faced 60% of the deliveries of this innings. It's funny how it's a quirk of cricket, isn't it, how that happens with openers? Sometimes you just find yourself on strike for longer periods of time.
Pretty well, beats the circle and will go all the way to the boundary. Move his feet all that much, but reach for it outside off stump. Timing the ball really nicely so far this evening, 23 off 20.
The flip side of having too much pace on the ball, and Amir just giving a bit of room there. He freed the arms, found the gap, 4 runs. It's a beautiful shot. Amir's gone for 2 boundaries in 8 deliveries, the only runs that have come off his bowling so far.
Competitive of the subcontinental teams in places like England, and even here as that's played down into the ground. They haven't won series in Australia, and they got a bit of a touch-up last time, but they're generally okay when they play here. I think that's because they've usually got pretty good pace stocks.
It's that balance, isn't it? It's the balance you look for. Same with batters, though. If you've got good pace stocks, people say that Australians for a while couldn't face really good spin. It's because they probably didn't face it too much at shield level, at the levels below. Hopefully that's changing now with a few emerging spinners as well. We see Todd Murphy doing really well, and Swepson, of course. Adelaide always had that last day feel. Things would happen on the last day. So Mohammad Amir now, 4 balls into his second over.
That one is played in the air wide of mid-on. Generally when it's got out there it's raced away. This one's holding up a little bit. The outfield's been pretty quick, but I think he kind of pitching wedged that one a little bit. Just get a couple of runs.
I reckon that extra pace just hit a bit higher up on the blade, but still gets 3 runs. He's been batting well.
And the Adelaide Oval, remember as a kid, McIntyre used to play that test alongside Shane Warne. They'd have 2 spinners, and if it wasn't Tim May, it was McIntyre that would play.
Well, Peter Sleep played there as well and took a 5-for.
Sydney, you'd normally get another one coming in.
Some good batting here, though. I think need to consolidate after a couple of wickets in an over, just to make sure that you keep the score ticking over. You keep trying to chase down this total of 104 to win.
So Amir continuing in, and another one getting some good bounce up above waist height, tucked off the pads nicely, and there'll be a first run there for George to get off the mark. And I guess the message for India would be you've got one guy here in Jaskar who's seeing him pretty well and he's set. You just need one player to go with him and you win.
True, and I think it almost sounds too basic, doesn't it? Yeah. That's the power play being gone now. So it'd be interesting to see what Pakistan do. What are their tactics around field placement? Everyone in, just the 2 fielders allowed out for the first 6 overs, but they need to take wickets. If all of a sudden they push fielders back, they're going to lose those catches. That pressure so well. 2 for 33 off 6. They're going to 5.5 and over. need another wicket, get into that middle order, get into the lower order, and that's where we can really see the pressure build up. In the meantime, can become a problem. At the moment, they've got all the time in the world.
Yeah, the tactical challenge of got to get wickets, don't have many runs to play with, balance of attack and defence. Obviously, they've got to attack. They're not going to bowl 20 overs and have them under the target. You wouldn't think.
Cricket is a funny
It
game.
is. It is. I mean, obviously, Pakistan batted the 20. We didn't think they would. They actually got through to the end, 9 down. Sure, a chance. It's Aziz coming in again, and a good delivery. Stayed a little bit low. Just pushed back down the ground. So Aziz getting 3 overs in a row here. He's obviously picked up 2 in an over, so fair enough.
I don't mind those tactics either. I never quite understand. Look, again, they've got to take this game as long as they can.
Yep.
So I do understand that part of it. But get the wickets up front, get them early, and they can just get one more breakthrough here. It really does balance out the game.
You can't save him for later because there might not be a later. So you got to strike. Still another 71 for India to get. That's a good delivery. Just ripped that through him, bowling with really good pace. His tail's up after getting the double breakthrough in the previous.
What is it about quick bowlers that all of a sudden they take a wicket or two and they seem like they're
Superman, yeah. Well, they might be coming to the end of a spell and they get a wicket and they're fresh as a daisy for an 8th or 9th over in a test match spell. It's got Kamir Awan down in front of us rocking the 3-number combination at 001. So Aziz in again from the Cranbourne end, and that one's played in the air and caught really well low to the ground. Diving forward there, it was Salman Afridi who took the catch, and it's a big, big wicket.
The umpires are just checking here just to make sure.
Yeah, the batsman hasn't walked.
It's carried. You can't always tell when you're...
Yeah, just got the nod.
He's got the nod?
Goes.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't always tell when you're the fielder, but he knew that he had his hands underneath it.
That was all he needed. I think the umpire just walked over to the square leg and said, "Did that carry?" He got the nod, stuck the finger up, and off he goes. So that's a big breakthrough. 3 wickets in, that'll be 9 balls, I think, for Aziz. He's got 3 for 9.
And that's really good captaincy as well. Stay on for another over. He took 2 wickets in his last over. When your tail's up, we were saying it's not just necessarily about the pace, it's about a bit of confidence. Knows that he's hunting wickets. And to get a 3rd wicket, Perigore gone for 1, 3 for 33 now in the 7th over. This is genuinely game on.
It certainly is. These low targets, it's a funny thing, and even psychologically for Pakistan to have that target, just lift over 100, they would have got into the dugout, would have been told they got the bonus. They would have been buoyed by the last wicket partnership, which got them somewhat back in the game. And now this innings is following a similar profile. India losing wickets at regular intervals. Obviously, Jaskaran remains there and looks really comfortable. Just got to find someone to go with him.
Will it be Nikhil Chowdhury who's come in at 5, 3 for 33. Really good comeback here as making sure that this game is going to be a contest. And there's a good crowd here that's built at Casey Fields. Predominantly Indian crowd, I probably think, but at the moment they've been silenced.
And that's just played with soft hands. A bit of a mix-up between the 2 batsmen, and it was the man who took that blinder, Afridi, a moment ago, that was ready to pounce, but they scamper back.
We talk about bowlers when they get their back up, they get a wicket, and all of a sudden they're a bit quicker, and they've got their shoulders back and away they go. Fielders are the same.
He was commando rolling. He was ready to jaunty roads the stumps there. Jaunty, who I think is in Australia at the moment, he's got a coaching role, I think, within the South African setup. He was coaching someone else, I think, previously, maybe Ireland in the T20 World Cup. And that's hit in the air, but creamed it straight out of the blade, and he just admired his work. He stood there, did not move a muscle, and just said, "Yeah, that is lovely."
He looked as happy with himself as Dan Lonigan after one of his bizarre sayings. A great shot over long on. What a beautiful time of the ball.
Still trying to... I was lost with the carpet snake one. Carpet snake in the, what was it, Dan?
In a foul house.
What is a foul house? Oh, a foul house in the birds. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, in the chook shed.
Probably
Yeah.
doesn't need more airtime. Darren, it's probably fair to say. That's a beautiful shot, though, from Chowdhury. Second ball just lofts him over mid-on.
It's a very nonchalant way to walk to the crease and get off the mark, and he plays the next one. Soft hands close to the body, doesn't go far. And the over is completed. Aziz's 3 overs down, 3 for 13. He's been the destroyer for Pakistan. And now, tactically, what do? They swung Amir around to this end. Does he get another one? Do they save him up? Do we see some spin?
I reckon we're going to see some spin here. Just need to change it up a little bit. Can't let the batters get into any sort of rhythm at the moment.
So,
I like the change, and also keep momentum. Have an over down the track. I think that's not bad, but don't leave it too late. As you said, too late will be too late.
well, I reckon Muhammad Amir's just gone in there and said, no, I'm having another one. And as you said, if he says something, you generally listen.
That's exactly what's happened there.
Yeah.
They were pushing the field out, and they got
And he said, I want another one. And here he is.
So we've got a deep backward square and a deep long on the leg side. I reckon this could be either this is going to be very full or very short.
Yeah, and he just that extra yard, he just rushes you. We've seen him decimate Australian and English top orders at test level.
And another goes out on the leg side. So there's no one inside the circle on the leg side. So I don't think he's going to get anything just to turn off the hip. Let's put it that way.
No, which gives the batsman something to think about here. 67 runs required from here to win, and that's short and just drop down into the offside, and they'll pick up. They run the first strongly, but there won't be a second. And Jaskaran will move to 27. He's looked solid as a rock.
Has looked good, hasn't he, at the top of the order? And all the carnage around him hasn't changed the way he's playing. Having said that, Chowdhury came out and his second ball over long and bounced into the fence. So
He held the pose for the photo. It was great.
absolutely. Surprised he's actually still with him. Then I never got to hit a shot that well.
No, that's right.
I'd probably hold it as well.
You'd still be there thinking, have they got it from every angle? So Muhammad Amir in his third over, and that stayed a little low, zipped through with pace. And Chaudhry thinking, yeah, that was a little bit lower than I thought, and he'll wander down and have a look at the pitch.
It's the second time that Jarry has felt like a ball hasn't come through like it did before. It's amazing, though, when you timed a beautiful one, you think that every ball that you face from then on should be exactly where you think it's going to be.
And then they blame the pitch. They go and have a look thinking, oh, yeah, where did that hit? Is there a soft spot there somewhere?
I think that Amir's going to attack the stumps here.
So can he get one through and really put Pakistan in the contest? That's defended right off the middle of the bat. That was good, confident defence. No run.
So going around the wicket with this field, like you look back and you go deep backward square, deep mid-wicket, deep long on. He knows exactly what he's trying to execute here. He's just trying to sneak one through the defences of Chaudhry. And maybe invite him to play those shots down the ground if it's a bit fuller.
Yeah, that driving on the up's been a problem.
The quicker, shorter one up his sleeve.
Here, the lefty around the wicket, and that did beat him for pace. And he goes for a little bit of a wander there. That's got him right in the midriff.
Cameron Akmal thinks that's the funniest thing he's ever seen because it's not happening to him.
That's right. Rubbing the, I don't know if he's got a chest guard in there, but if he doesn't, he'll wish he did. He's just feeling in there under the ribs. Because Cameron Akmal's a little man, that would have probably knocked his helmet off.
Probably still have a smile on his face, though.
That's right.
He plays cricket with a smile on his face.
That certainly wouldn't have got Akmal in the ribs, that's for sure. Muhammad Amir, that's the pace that he can generate. He softened him up, but it didn't matter as he goes high over the offside and picks up a couple.
Chaudhry does have the look about him that every
one.
ball he's looking to hit boundaries and score the runs here himself. Just taking a bit of ownership here.
Yeah,
I don't mind
as you
either.
say, he
After 3 wickets.
smoked that first one, and I think he thinks, well, I'm on. So it's a good contest, although now it's Jaskaran versus Muhammad Amir, so that's an important little contest to end the over. And he came down the track and then adjusted the shot late and just glanced it down to third, picks up a single to end the 8th over, just 3 runs from it, 3 singles. 3 for 40 off 8, and I think Pakistan were very, very similar.
Yeah, Pakistan with 3 for 38 after 8, so you're right on the money there. 3 for 40, going at 5 and over, knowing 104 off 20, which is basically 5 and over.
So you'd think Pakistan, are they going to bowl Aziz out? Probably not. You think they'll save one? Is it Sohail Sadiq? Yeah.
The skipper's going to bring himself on.
So Aziz will save one for later on in the innings. Mohammad Amir's got one left as well. So a double change, you'd think. One here and one at this end.
Mohammad Amir also would really feel like he wants that wicket. He was searching for wickets, going hard for it. Won't be happy that he doesn't get a wicket. I love the competitiveness that comes with it as well.
Absolutely. 64 required at 5.33, 7 wickets in hand. These two look pretty good. So this shaping is a pretty important partnership. One well-set batsman and one that's middled a few in his first 7 deliveries and looks on.
So he's going to push deep third down to the boundary. They've been very good with their late cuts. I actually wouldn't mind seeing them just try and encourage that on the wicket, but it's just a little slower, and he wouldn't have the pace of the other bowlers either.
3 for 40.
So how's he trying to get him out, Darren? That's probably the question I'm asking.
How's a field like that? Yeah, you've almost got to go through him. That's almost your only chance. Or hope that he tries to hit you out of the ground. He came down the track, full of delivery.
Came down the track, but not as much as the follow-through from the skipper, which ended up down
went past him.
next to the keeper. But Skiddy, though, he's not slow by any stretch. We've just seen so many good, quick bowlers at the moment. Just trying to skid one through the defences there. And
the beauty of 2020 cricket, Sri Lanka almost exclusively spin, and Pakistan with a number of pace options. And they may both win potentially on the same day, as that's played down the ground for a single. And that is the 28th run for Jaskaran.
But you're right, it doesn't matter if you've got all pace, all spin, or a good combination of both. It's how you execute when you've got the ball in the hand.
That's right.
Both can work.
Play to your strengths, you don't play to, I guess, somebody else's, as that's played fine, and they'll get a single. So a couple of easy runs there, and I think this is what you're alluding to, that the pressure's just off a little bit.
Pakistan need to force the Indian batsmen to do something they don't want to do.
Yeah.
At the moment, they're just batting how they want. And if they're going to win this game, they've got to defend 103, and that's not easy to do. So they've got to change the mentality as well as the execution for the Indian batsmen.
In India, if India can knock it around like this, they'll walk it in, and they might even get 2 for that. They run the first hard, but no, it's fielded here by Kamir Awan. But 1-1-1, very easy pickings at the minute. India will take a picket fence in every over.
Cherry, of course, indicating that he thinks maybe there's a 2 levels of bounce here as well. Someone keeping a little bit low. Put the slip in, make him make that decision.
And that one's jammed down again to third man, and they can just walk down for another single. So a bit of a pressure release. And of course, Sohail Sadiq can't really complain about the field because he's putting it together.
And now they need 61 from 67. It's pushing it round. It's been quite comfortable.
Yeah.
Now they're playing.
They're going to do it. He's at this rate. That's a fuller ball which is played back to the bowler on the bounce. Sohail takes it in the follow-through.
So there's probably a couple elements in it. It's not just the runs that they're accumulating and getting those singles so easily. There's also the comfortability they've got of batting out there. And the longer they spend out there, the more comfortable they're going to be. And they're going to pick up on those really bad balls, which inevitably happen in all forms of cricket, and find the boundary with those as well. And so the equation becomes easier and easier as they go. Yes, Pakistan are taking the game a bit longer, but without taking wickets or look like they're taking wickets or showing their intent to take wickets, I can't see how they're going to get in front in the game. As is when searching for wickets, got them some good catching, some good fielding and field placements as well. That's what I'd like to see just a little bit more of. doesn't always have to be aggressive field plays, but what are you doing
Yeah.
to change their mentality of
You've got to be a bit inventive here, as we just saw Jaskaran change bats there at the end of the 9th over. Just had the 12th man or one of the non-players come out and brought 3 bats out. He picked the one he liked, and so he's got the new blade. He's at the non-strikers end at the moment. It looks like we've got forward Maluk coming into the attack. So we are going to see some slower bowling now from the broadcast end. Into Chowdhury, who cuts off the back foot to cover. There is some coverage there, and the ball not well directed into Akmal, who had to leap above his head. Probably would have got back in any case.
Just for a moment, I was thinking a good throw there. He's
Correct,
on his
yeah.
heels, so
He was on his,
these are
yeah.
the little things that Pakistan need to go their way.
It's a slightly better field here. Obviously a bit of protection in at the ring.
I would have thought that traditional sort of in-out
Yeah,
field would be the way to
definitely.
do it. Keep all the ones in and catches as well, especially in front of the wicket.
Make their boundary shots as risky as possible. That one's pushed into the offside and no run.
So cut that late cut out because they're both very good at that shot. It can also be a bit of variable bounce, which means you chop onto the stumps, you can get the edge to the keeper as well.
So the left arm spinner, and that one's pushed back past him. The 2 fielders down the ground are deep, so that's another single.
So that line I don't mind, but what I wouldn't mind is that length. Pull that length back a little bit, but still have them trying to hit in front of the stumps. Have a catcher at short cover.
So middle of the 10th over, and that is very delicately cut away, and that'll race and race and race. It won't quite get to the boundary, but they'll pick up a couple. Certainly flirted with it, timed well enough that he just got a soft touch on that, and it's almost gone for 4.
So if you had and I know you can't have more than 9 fielders, I get that, but if you had a catcher in there and you had the short third, cut that shot out, make them play another shot.
Because they're both executing it pretty well. That one's went a little too straight.
Make them hit in that area where you can actually force them, and if they want to go across the line, maybe you can.
Yeah.
But with a bit of variable bounce and hold the ball.
Just get one to jump a little bit and reaching for that one outside off stump. So back-to-back dots. He was frustrated with himself there. Just played the shot again in the follow-through, thinking perhaps on that occasion that Jaskaran might have been able to execute that one a little bit better. So we are at the halfway point. In a moment, Suhas will join us in the commentary position. Dan Lonigan will jump in as well as part of a double change. India at the halfway point here are 3 for 47, 3 for 48.
I think Suhas is outside just signing autographs at the moment. He's had a game and a half of commentary, and all of a sudden he's signing autographs. He's got the jacket on. He's looking $1 million. He's forgotten he's actually got some work to do, but he's making his way over here now. His game is delicately played. Very much looking forward to
I love the jacket. Start of a new over, and Sahel has Jaskar just winkling it around the corner and getting another run on the board. 3 for 49 now as we start the 11th over.
That's right. Check the down right.
2 seasoned campaigners in the middle there.
Yes, well, Chowdhury and Jaskar. Jaskar's done a good job as the opener. He drives this one in the air, and it was safe in the end in between cover and mid-off, and it's collected a couple of metres inside the boundary. Gets angry with himself. Chowdhury felt he should have played that better than he did. It was safe because he picked what gap there was on the offside.
I don't know how intentional that was to be hit in the gap because he went through with it. I really thought he wanted to clear the field there. The
Well, he did, but
elevation suggested that he was running the risk of getting caught out.
He's got to be careful to try and clear the gap over cover.
This is much better. Much better. If you talk about the
Yes.
heavy ball, this
Good
is the
bowling.
definition of a heavy
Yeah.
ball.
Putting him on the back foot and he fends it down. He'd be much better trying to clear the fence on the onside, and he's practicing the pull shot now because, as we know, the wind will go with it. It's against it. And it's always fraught with danger when you try and play. Some can do it.
Absolutely right.
A cover shot for 6 as he's on the back foot, pinned on the back foot, Chowdhury, but he manages to knock it into the offside, and they'll scamper through for a run. Good running.
Yeah, once again, kudos to the coach. They've done the little things right. He's dragging the bat, something that the coaches harp on, especially when you're taking singles of that kind. It's 60-40 in your favour.
52 needed off 56 balls now. Remembering that an extra 10 added on to chase India because of the fact that they went over their time when it came to bowling their 20 overs. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan. While Pakistan were playing, they were 9 wickets down with 60 odd, and we were harping here on commentary that they're the ones playing time. No, it was Indians who were playing time, and suddenly they've overplayed it. 10 runs added as penalty.
Well, they were given 4 warnings, apparently. This is driven down the ground, hit very, very hard indeed. He runs with the shot, Jaskar, and the return is an absolute beauty. But he's home. That was good cricket all round. It actually hit the stumps flush. Jaskar knew he had to go and go quickly, the big man, and he's a big man for a wicket-keeper. And he was moving very sprightly between the wickets on that occasion.
That's hit the middle of the middle stump.
Yeah, that's
good
outstanding.
That he dragged the bat. We were talking about the importance of dragging the bat. Now the furniture is reset. We're all set to bowl the next one then. Runs in this over in singles and twos. The boundary check has still been in place. Not that they're checking if it's a boundary or not, but they're checking. They kept the batters under check that it's not going to be a boundary anytime soon.
3 for 53. 11 overs gone now. So they need 51 off 54. Chowdhury's 13 off 16. Jaskar 33 off 34. Cuts the next one at the start of a new over. Farwood Maluk, who was the best batter by a country mile for the Pakistanis. Ian Arwan, who's fielding in front of us here at whitish long on for the right-hander. Got a partnership at the end. And this is dab too short. The man shy at the stumps. Didn't miss by too much. I reckon he might have been in a bit of strife. Jaskar, if the return had have hit and the fielder knows it, the wicketkeeper knows it, everyone knows it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get up. He's replaying that in his mind 100 times, that throw. And every time he's replaying it, it's getting an inch closer to the stumps.
Good cheeky run. 3 for 55. Under 50 needed now. They're more than halfway there. They've got to get a wicket here. Farwood Maluk in again, gives it air. And it's steered into the offside. There's no run. There's a short straight cover there. So bowling to his field and bowling to his field cleverly.
Dan, should we banish the debate of the efficacy of a finger spinner? In 2 games, we've seen how good they can be.
Well, he's bowling beautifully. Look, he's got a very unusual action, hasn't he? He's coming in almost like he's about to bowl right arm. He's coming in very, very side on with his action.
I'll tell you what, the coaches these days do not tinker with your action because we're moving towards an era of cricket where if you're a little unorthodox, it becomes an advantage for you because the batters find it difficult to pick you. Look at Jasprit Bumrah, for an example.
Well, he's one of the greats, isn't he?
Yeah.
Doing a good job forward. He gives this one air and it's steered down to long off. And they get another run. These two look pretty comfortable at the moment. Jaskar, who's moved to 35 of that single of 39.
It's still
12 gone. It's 3 for 56. It's Pakistan's going to lose, you'd think.
Run about 48 required.
Yeah, 48 of 48.
Control with 7 wickets in hand. But Dan, I'll tell you what, Fawad Maluk will be mighty pleased with his efforts. With 2 set batters, he's managed to give only 3 runs. He's interspersed the overs with singles and only singles, nothing more. And that's a denomination which gives more confidence to the bowler than the batter.
Well, this is what Gandhi did. He did it so well, and I reckon that was one of the major reasons why the Pakistanis lost wicket. They lost patience with him because he none for 7 from 4 overs. They sat on him a bit and felt they had to go at the other bowlers and played shots that they didn't need to play.
Was there a bit of a Maxwell factor? I know I'm commentating in Australia today, but was there a bit of a Maxwell factor? The reason I say this is because sometimes to that batter you bowl to his ego and not to the field.
Yeah, it's a good point, isn't it? And Glenn Maxwell's always trying to come up with something different, isn't he? This is slammed down the ground by Jaskar to kick off a new over.
But all in all, what a fantastic cricketer he is. He's earned a lot of fans, especially from where I come from, including me.
Yeah, he broke his leg, of course, at a 50th birthday party.
Not the ideal start.
A friend fell on it.
I mean,
so he's out for the rest of the season.
I think he took it too seriously. Break a leg.
Now this is in the air. Is it going to be caught? It spooned and cleared the midfield and bounces in front of the fielder who stormed in from the covers and did a pretty good job to parry that in front of him. Again, he was going into the wind,
50-50.
and he's lucky to survive.
Yeah, Jaskaran Singh be thanking
Jaska.
his stars. This 9 out of 10 times could have been taken with the sun right in his eyes, even though he's wearing protection. This one really, really dipped in front of him. Otherwise, would have been enticed to put in that dive at some stage. Raja's done well so far. This time it's in the gap.
Yeah, square driven into the offside.
He's been kept busy here. Once towards his left,
Yes.
once towards his right. The ball's just dipping in front of him more often than not. I think so. He's
Yusufic
wondering
Bell,
if he should
yep.
be about 10 yards inside the circle.
Well, he's been a bit unlucky, hasn't he? Nice square drive. His partnership continues.
It's that time of the day when you feel as fielders, the sun is a bit unforgiving in certain places.
And it's starting to set a bit. This is a ball on leg stump, and it's whipped away through to deep mid-wicket. The runs are coming a little bit too easily at the moment.
Yeah, the India milking the bowling, Dan. India milking the bowling with minimum risk after that shot, which was almost a wicket.
Sahale just bowling too much on the leg stump, or over pitching. He's in again, and that one took off a bit through to the wicket keeper, and that absolutely had Chowdhury in a bit of trouble there. Is he probably at the very last minute might have dropped the hands on the bat?
I think
and
the right thing
just
to do.
withdrew. It was a beautiful delivery, short of a length. Have a look at it. As Cameron
no
Akmal
further.
took that well in front of his face.
Look no further if you're looking for the ball of the day.
That was an absolute jaffa. He's in again. He's on the back foot. He pushes through backward point again.
Was better prepared to negotiate this one, which was similar length, Dan. 13 gone, 62 for 3.
So they need another 42 off 42. A run a ball. Do you think it's simple? Jaskar, 39 off 42, and he took a number of catches as well behind the stumps. He must be a candidate for man of the match, particularly if he gets his team home with a half century. Would be the highest score of the day. We saw Mahodi, who won the man of the match and bowled well for Sri Lanka in their 15-run win over Australia.
Dan.
They made 131, Australia made 116.
Have you put the mockers on now?
Oh, I put the mockers on everyone. The commentators curse Suhas.
Did he say hi to you before the game?
Yeah, well, he did actually.
Yeah, he definitely
As I was talking to Tej Gandhi, who's due in next, I would have thought he might have come in now. He's such a good batter as well.
All right, you know the ritual in ACL. Then
He's forward. It just gets it past the fielder at short cover. That was in the air. He didn't have control of the shot, but unfortunately it races through the outfield. And there was protection out there, but there was nothing the deep cover fielder could do. It was a bit streaky, but in the end it gets 4 runs, and it's all going India's way as Chowdhury moves to 20 off 21.
These are the little things that Fawad Malook wants to go his way.
Yeah.
Half an opportunity that's been converted into a boundary, adding injury or insult to injury. I think that could have been taken. I mean, I'm being a bit of a taskmaster, but just
Would have been a great catch.
Just a moment of brilliance on the field is exactly what Pakistan are looking for, with this partnership brewing so nicely for India.
Forward bowls again, and on the back foot, it's struck very cleverly indeed, steered out into the deep, into the offside.
I love the fact that Fawad Malook is starting to alter his length. He's expecting the batters to dance down the track. That's not going to be the case, especially because the required rate's not a daunting one. It's just under 5. Well, 37, 39. Oh, under 6, I beg your pardon. The current rate just under 5. Fawad Malook is one of those very few bowlers who's turning it this much. The others have got wickets with the illusion of spin, not spin itself.
Illusion of spin, I haven't heard that before.
Look at this one.
Well, that was a beauty, and he's stuck on the crease and did well to dig that out, Jaskar. He's seeing them like medicine balls. That's why he was able to dig that out. I reckon it might have got through anyone else. 39 off 44. You ever seen a medicine ball?
Damn.
It's massive, isn't it? It is massive.
You're unbelievable there.
Oh, not really. This is defended back along the wicket again. Good bowling, darting it in and making it hard for the batter to free his arms then. Jaskar has been sensational, and 14 gone now, and it is 3 for 67. Jaskar 39 of 45, Chowdhury 21 of 23. They need 38 off 36. They've got to get them quickly. In fact, they need 37 of 36.
Yeah, with 7 wickets in hand, the equation that
Yes.
you just uttered, what do you feel? Is it going to get a tighter contest, or they're going to win with the ball over to spare, India? Or could go either way.
Well,
I think it's that time of the day when you're looking at the bowling card and asking how many overs left for Mohammad Amir.
Well, he's only got one to go, hasn't he? So he needs to come on now, doesn't he? And I'll tell you what, the Indians have played him well. It's all about, as Pete Laser said earlier, it's all about trying to see him off.
Is it like
And they've seen him off for 3 overs so far. So Hale's going to bowl again. Takes the outside edge, took a hand off the bat, but it rolled along the ground. And they managed to get another run. And it moves Jaskar. Well, he's on 39. Back on the strike now is Chowdhury. Got the run to go to 22. And again, this has got a very thick edge, and I think it's beaten the fielder, who's at third man, is too square. It's gone fine. It races away. It took the bottom of the bat, and they can't take a trick, the Pakistanis, especially the captain, Sohail. And Jaskar gets a boundary along the ground, pretty safe.
Beautiful
But you can
shot.
get them any way you can in T20 cricket, and Jaskar moves to 43 or 46.
I think it was intentional. It was intentional to bang the bat and ensure that the ball touches the ground before it.
The Jaskar is motoring as he knocks it into the offside and picks up another run. He was on the back foot again, short of a length from Sohail. But they're scoring runs at will.
Yeah.
And this has been the difference between the two sides.
Six of the first 3. Good start for India as far
Yeah.
as this over is concerned. Equation under control.
Sohail in again, bowls, and it's a Yorker length ball that's turned down to the onside for 1. He placed it pretty well. They thought about 2 as they showed a lot of intent in running between the wickets, but the fielder got onto it pretty quickly as well. So they keep turning the strike over. Chowdhury has 23 off 25. Jaskar has 44 off 47. 2 balls remaining in the 15th over. And it's getting tougher again for the Pakistanis. 30 required by India for a victory here. Here's Sohail in again. He bowls. And this is swung away with the wind. Bang! Over deep backward square for 6. Beautiful swipe. Beautiful swipe by Jaskar, and he brings up the first half century of the tournament. What a magnificent shot that is, and that might be the shot of the day. He just swiped that away from middle stump, and he played that with so much disdain. Sohail cannot believe it. 50 off 48.
The ways of getting to a half century, none more dominating than this one. Yeah, the replays will suggest
His figure's
there was a
expensive.
sense of ease and elegance as he puts this one away, and then the wind carried itself almost as if the piece of leather grew wings.
Here's Sohail again, bowls. He turns it into the offside, or plays it into the offside, driving it fluently. Got a good delivery. Sohail finishing off nicely. It was a Yorker length ball right on off stump, and all he could do was play it into the offside. But he can do that. Treat it with respect.
Yeah, but
they've got 5 overs remaining. Only need 24 to win the game, India. So 24 needed, and he'll bowl out his spell 2. Farwood, it's pushed into the offside, out to deep cover for 1. No, they elect not to go.
Now the cushion for Malouk is reduced considerably after the beating in the previous over, and now the plans would also change. Fawad Malouk, can he pick up a wicket at this stage? That's the only thing that can keep Pakistan interested in this game as well. They got to gain a few inches.
They did get a run, they thought about 2. This one's given air, and it's driven down the ground again by the in-form man. He's batted pretty well today.
Ever since Jaskaran's kicked into the next gear, Nikhil Chaudhary has been quite considerate and comfortable playing the second fiddle.
Oh, that's exactly right. He's on the back foot now, Chowdhury, and he chops it away out to deep cover. Again, he used the crease, as you said earlier on, Suhas, the ability to just use the crease, get a delivery that's back of the length from the spinner, who's bowled tidily, figures none for 14. Batted okay too. Forward Maluk made 34 and his team's total of 93. An extra 10 runs added as he was about to bowl and didn't deliver.
Don't know if he lost his footing on that occasion or wanted to see if the batter's doing something different. Again, a good delivery.
Yeah.
Straight down the ground. Work to do. We'll keep it down to a single. The second is going to be very risky, even though the throw is wayward, because the situation doesn't demand a cheeky second.
3 for 84. They need 20 and there's 26 balls left. This side on action again. Forward Maluk defending from the crease and they can do that. Chowdhury 25 off 28 now as he defended that and didn't score. Jaskar has 52 off 51.
20 or 25, this game can still turn.
Oh.
Depends on how deep they want to get it. Oh, this
Phil
is
for LBW plays across the line.
Where did it hit? Well, he's rubbing his chest, of course, but he was down on one knee. Do you reckon that could have taken the crown of the stumps?
Oh,
close call.
It was across the line, wasn't it? It was across the line, so I'm not sure.
Well,
it hit him in the chest. Way too high.
Way too high. Excellent decision then by the umpire. 16 gone, 84 for 3. Game still in the balance, 20 or 24. Anything can happen with an over left for Mohammad Amir.
You are an optimist.
No, you don't want to see it go to the
wire. Well, we'd love to see it go to the wire, but I don't think that's going to happen.
In your mind, you won the seat belt, you've started the car, you're dropping me at the G.
Oh, well, I'll drop you at the G.
20 or 24. This game might go to the wire is what I feel. Just to ruffle some feathers. Or say the cat amongst the pigeons. If you pick up a wicket over here, things can get interesting. Otherwise, India cruising at the moment with Nikhil in great control, just couldn't providing the impetus.
Well, we saw what Ben Lachlan did. He got a couple of wickets, Sydney, and slowed down Sri Lanka, but it was enough anyway for Sri Lanka.
Absolutely nothing.
Australia didn't bat very well. They fell 15 runs short, and Pakistan talking of not batting well, batted deplorably.
Straightforward, 5 runs required and over.
And this is Butt back in the attack. Yeah.
The second run's a jog, but in our world of cricket, it's still called a run.
Arwen's had to do a lot of work, hasn't he? At backward point. Good last wicket partnership, managed them to get to 93 as is.
Just get a feeling that Jaskaran wants to finish it off in as much as possible in this over, knock off the required runs, and if he continues to bat the way he does, very soon that bat will attract a sticker in front.
3 for 15. As is bowls again, swung across the line. Can he dissect the two fielders? No, he can't. It's collected at deep backward square. He didn't quite get as much of that as he wanted, but another run on the board. He's 55 off 53, Jaskar. You reckon he's got the man of the match parcelled up? He was very tidy behind the stumps, and Chowdhury 25 off 29. 17 needed of 22 deliveries. And Aziz has done a good job. 3 for 16.
A good change in pace, you reckon?
Yes.
From Azizullah. The right thing to do at this stage of the game. But where are the Yorkers? We're still waiting for them. Follow the batter, not a bad option at all, but still a tap in the right vacant area will allow a single to be completed. 16 or 21, equation well under control for the men in blue.
Yes, they played very well indeed, India. Very professional performance, especially with the ball.
How much of it is actually a change in gloves and how much of it is a message passed on?
95% is a message passed on.
Not in the middle of the over. Can be. These days people are very picky. Did you see what Sri Lanka did?
I mean, it's not that it's been that warm today anyway, but I mean, the sun's starting to set, isn't it?
True.
So I wouldn't have thought that he needed a change of gloves. You never saw it in years gone by, would you?
Wants a better grip on the bat. Well, the change of gloves perhaps. That's what you would question. It's kissed the top of the stumps. Minimum discomfort to furniture. Maximum discomfort to India.
She's been good as is. 4 for 17. He's in the conversation for man of the match, even though I think his team will be well beaten. Lovely innings of 55 by Jaskar. 4 for 88. It was a great innings, but he played across the line here. Good straight delivery.
Do you believe
He
it?
has been storming in magnificently tonight as is. He gave himself a little bit of room, and it was gun barrel straight. He's got the result.
The bails are a puzzle right now. The bails are broken. And that's exactly why our additional umpire is delivering the bails to the on-field umpires. Aziz has done really well. He's kept his calm. He's bowled the slower deliveries to good use. He's bowled the back of the length deliveries really well. And now the wicket finally, a reward which was much required for Azizullah. 17 for 4. These are figures that are he's definitely answered above and beyond his call of duty. Azizullah sharing the new ball and then producing 17 for 4. There's nothing more you can ask from a bowler, especially when you're trying to restrict a team like India to a modest total.
If my memory serves me right, Vishal did a pretty good job last year for the Indians in a couple of matches. I think in the match they played Australia, where they lost a lot of early wickets, like Pakistan today, managed to get them past 100 and then defend that. And he was one of the reasons why they were able to get a score of 100. In a couple of other matches, he batted well with Gandhi. So he's coming in late. His team only needs 16 from 20 deliveries, 4 for 88.
Would you want to help solve this puzzle, or should we just put this part of the puzzle as in tomorrow's newspaper?
So the bail's been busted.
The middle stump's missing.
The middle stump's been broken.
The middle stump's broken as well. All right, a different colour, perhaps to
It's all happening,
make
isn't
it a clear target for the bowler.
Gee, it must have been a fierce delivery. I've never seen that before.
All right, 4 runs on the over and a wicket. He's pulled it back nicely, Azizullah, but he's got to close it out well and leave enough of a cushion for Mohammad Amir to try and make a game out of this. India lack a little bit of momentum with Jaskaran walking back, but still the equation's under control. Only dot balls on either side can set the cat amongst the pigeons here, which Albir joins Nikhil.
I would have put Mohammad Amir on a little bit earlier than they have. Looking at the stump here, it's been split. It's all over red rover. It can be used for firewood in the winter or even in the Australian summer, which has been pretty cold. Last Wednesday, I think it was about 12 degrees before you arrived. 16 needed off 20 deliveries. A little bit of a break. The lights are on here at Cranbourne and everyone's home. And Azizullah, 4 for 17, has taken all 4 wickets.
Slower delivery coming up, perhaps, or is he going to be steaming in? Oh, a good delivery. That additional bit of bounce again to be negotiated. That's a good delivery for a batter playing his first.
Well, he was on the back foot and he defended it nicely. So it's 4 for 88. 1 ball remaining in the 17th. It might go down to the wire yet. The light beginning to fade. That's why the lights are on.
Absolutely love this fight from Pakistan, and this is that time of the day where the batters' pupils need to be opened up a little more. They've got to adjust to the artificial light coming in as well. The sun is bidding goodbye.
Doesn't score. A good bowling, defending into the offside. Great way to finish his spell. Just bowling, beautiful outside the off stump, bowling to his field. He's certainly been outstanding for Pakistan. They've probably only had 2 really good performers. Farwood bowled his spell beautifully and also made 34, and 4 for 17 for Azizullah. All 4 wickets that have fallen so far. So 16 needed of 18 deliveries, with Nikhil Chaudhary on 26 off 30, and Tind has faced a couple of deliveries yet to score. Can they get another wicket?
Well, that will set things up nicely. In Aussie Cricket League, just cannot find a better game to try and start this saga of nail-biting finishes. At the moment, under control the equation is what we could say for India. 16 of 18. Can Awan produce that magical delivery? And we've seen that this end particularly has favoured the spinners.
Yeah, Kamara Wan coming in, who batted at number 11, was 7 not out.
Even Eindren from this end was bowling well. All the
He was.
bowled well.
Why do you think that this has been the end for the spinners?
Well, when T20 started, they said the end of the spinners. At least it's good to see that it's the end of the spinners in a different way.
Yes. And this is swung away on the onside, and it's been picked up just inside the boundary. It was running full pelt by Yusuf. Magnificent effort. Absolutely going 100 miles an hour. He wasn't far away from the rope. Gets 2 runs. It was swung away. And that's an excellent shot.
Yeah, making India work for every single run. He'd made his mind mentally that it's going to go for 4. They were getting together for glove love not to take that single or 2. Soon they realized it's an excellent effort in the deep, riding the boundary, quite literally. And he was getting into a good position to play that shot as well.
They only got one in the end.
That had 4 written over it. Oh,
gets the bottom edge to the next one. Yes. And it's picked up.
That's cricket
just behind the wicket keeper.
That's
kept low, didn't it? Yep, absolutely.
I mean, you get it from the middle of the bat, it goes to the deep. It almost is a boundary, but you get rewarded with a single. Sometimes you don't get it from the middle of the bat, the denomination remains the same.
Correct. That was a great piece of fielding by Yusuf before. I thought it was definitely 2, but it was only 1. He was charging around that boundary. Saved 3. This is in the air. This might nearly go the distance.
Oh.
It doesn't quite, but it goes for a boundary. Bounces and then bounces over the rope. 4 runs. He tossed it up and he's gone the big aerial route over mid-wicket. Lovely shot.
Excellent shot indeed. 6 runs at the over now. And now Pakistan are going to play with the bonus runs they received.
Yes.
India not finishing their
The
overs
slog
on time.
sweep again. This might be caught. And it's comfortably caught. Yusuf has done a great job. Has taken the catch out at deep mid-wicket. Of course, if it was at the other side of the ground, there's absolutely no dramas about it going for 6, but again into the breeze as it happened last year. Yusuf has taken an excellent catch in front of the 2 teams' dugouts, and he made that look simple too, like shelling peas. 5 for 94, and we're in the 18th over. Good innings by Chowdhury, 31 of 33, fielded well as well. Manpreet Ghani played a couple of internationals for the Indians. He's come to the crease now to try and get his team home with 13 balls left.
Manpreet Ghani, 10 of 14. He's walked out in this situation so many times where the architect of a run chase is someone else, but to finish it off, Manpreet Ghani walks out with a broad brush. Alright, he bats only one way, that is to hit straight down the ground and let the ball never be seen again.
Well, we'll see.
You were asking for a wicket. Wicket delivered, Dan.
Well, we need another one if we're to go to the full distance, I would have thought. But anyway, he's been expensive, Arwen. So, 14 balls. I'll learn to count one day.
Kamara once the only bowler to pick up a wicket apart from who has been a one-man army, picking up 4.
4 for 94. He bowls now and he goes down the... Oh, cotton bowled! What a catch that is! He's taken an absolute blinder. He hit that as hard as he's ever going to hit it, and he has made that look simple. What a catch that was by Cromer Arwen. What a catch! An absolute ripper. He's taken a couple of wickets in a row and he's on a hat-trick. Can you believe that?
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, there's 6 for 94.
Ghani hits it straight down the ground. I think in his defense, he didn't get elevation. Smashes it straight down the ground, and it's going to be sweet pain at the end of that catch too. Kamar kept it straight and simple. Ghani wanting to go for the glory shot first up. And, well, great reflexes from the umpire too, who tried his best to get away. I think he's more relieved that the catch was taken as much as Avan. Avan's on a hat-trick too. Oh, what a good catch indeed. Is this the glimmer of hope that Pakistan were looking for? That moment of brilliance that we talk about that can lift the whole team up. 6 runs and a wicket. Let's have a look at it again.
It was hit really, really hard. And he, well, I'm going to say he made that look easy. It was a great reflex catch.
Give that man a bravery award to try and take that catch in the first game of a tournament.
Almost took his hand off. He's on a hat-trick here.
What's it going to be? We don't see any field change for the hat-trick here. Hat-trick is less of
6
a
for 94.
Quietly
It's swung away. He won't get the hat-trick. Out to deep mid-wicket. Jatinder, who bowled well, getting 3 wickets during Pakistan's innings. Just noodled it out through mid-wicket. And they need 9 off 2 overs. 6 for 95. 10 and Jatinder at the crease. 2 for 7. Kwama Awan. Well, maybe the 10 runs might come back to bite the Indians, the 10 runs that were added on because they went over their time.
The crowd's loving it though. The crowd's loving it. Now, India had to battle a different kind of an opponent today. It's called the bonus being gifted to the opposition. They've knocked off the runs that the opposition had scored. Now they've got to knock off 10.
Muhammad Amir.
9 rather. Mohammad Amir.
Second last over.
Yorker coming up a no. Dan,
let's see what happens.
Oh, good delivery.
He just elected to leave that at the last minute, just moving away a little bit.
And this is exactly why the new batter is in.
Jatinder getting ready again. Amir bowls again. He looks to try and turn that one away. Goes down the leg side. Was there some bat in that? Wasn't taken cleanly by Cameron Akmal. No, buys. But they still hurt the Pakistani cause because sometimes all those runs count.
Sometimes, Dan, a ball is so good that not just the batter but the keeper had no answer to it.
Yeah.
Remember, his interception point is 10 yards behind the batter.
8 needed off 10. It's going right down to the wire as the light continues to fade here at Cranbourne Cricket Club at Casey Fields. And Pakistan still a chance, and India will just have to make sure that they get their overs in time next time should they lose. Amir bowls. This is driven fluently out into the deep to their best fielder today. Yusuf, he's been outstanding.
Are they going to try and attack at least one ball in this over, or is this going to be how well can we negotiate from the middle of the bat as far as Amir is concerned? Because that begs the question, how much would they want to leave for the final over, Dan?
Well, they've negotiated him absolutely fantastically today.
So far,
and they've sat on him. I mean, look at his figures. None for 16. They've been good. He bowls again, and this time it is guided away past point. They've got one, or Yusuf slips over, and they come back for 2. He slipped over his own shadow, and they come back for 2.
Yeah, Amir's not the happiest man in the world at the moment.
No.
He saw only 1 written over it, not the second one. He said, great acrobatics, but I signed up for a good throw.
Yes. 6 for 99. 5 needed off 8.
Yeah, we're still waiting for those change-ups here. The slower delivery, the Yorker.
Yeah, well,
something to decimate the stumps.
And as Pete Laser, our co-commentator, said, what about in-swinging Yorkers? We haven't seen any of those, have we? They've negotiated him nicely.
The person who can bowl them is actually in the camp for Sri Lanka, but as a mentor.
Yes, Lasith Malinga. Yeah. He bowls again. This is down the leg side, is it? He looked to swing, and it's not given. It's 6 for 99. 1 ball remaining in the over, so they got a chance of seeing off Muhammad Amir.
Now it begs the question here. Mohammad Amir is going to look for a wicket delivery,
yes,
or is he going to look for a dot delivery? What's his approach going to be, Dan?
I think he needs a wicket. Bring a fresh batsman in, but where's Tej Gandhi? He's not there. He, in regard to being out in the middle, and hasn't been out there yet for India.
I remember you telling me that
outstanding
is the best, best way.
Muhammad Amir bowls and beaten outside the off stump with a slow one.
He's gone for a dot delivery, yeah.
And it ends up being a dot delivery. So, well, 5 needed off the last over. Well done, Pakistan, to get it to this, helped by the fact that India were a bit slow with their over 8. They were penalised 10 runs for not bowling their overs in time. And it's 6 for 99. Jatinder and Tind at the crease. Jatinder 3 off 6. Tind 2 off 4.
It's not our job.
Casey Fields are brimming with people as the word's out that the best in the business are playing here at the Aussie Cricket League.
Yeah, it's been a good crowd, hasn't it? 1 over remaining.
5 from 6, 5 from
Omer, what is his cushion? 4 runs. And where does he bowl? He's bowling to Vishal Bir for a start.
He's only bowled the 2, none for 11 in here, but he bowled okay too from this end, the peninsula end. And it's 6 for 99. 1 over remaining. Can he be the hero for Pakistan, or can these two batsmen, Tind and Jatinder?
What are the options here for the batter? The mid-wicket region, deep mid-wicket is open.
Yes.
It's a very wide long on. Very wide, almost a mid-wicket.
He opens the blade, he works it down to third man for 1. And it's 4 off 5 now, 6 for 100. Both batters on 3. Jatinder on strike now. Took 3 wickets with the ball earlier today. Been one of the stars for the Indians. They bowled really well to restrict Pakistan to 93.
100 comes up. We didn't know that we were going to say that when the first innings ended.
Yeah, 6 for 100. 4 needed off 5. Bowls again. This is a short delivery, which is steered away to backward point. He did well to keep that down. And it's another run on the board. 3 off 4 needed now.
Dan, how does he extract that tennis ball like bounce when the day is coming to a close with 2 games already being played on it? Unbelievable effort from Omer, but
Now, I'm going to admit that I was wrong because I said to Pete Laser a bit earlier, could be an early mark here. Certainly not an early mark. And Pete just looks at me and says, I'm not surprised. 3 needed off 4.
3 or 4, has he got to go for the glory shot? Has he got to take it as deep as possible? The field allows him to even come back for the second in case it's a tap and run.
10 faces. He swings and misses. And it's a dot ball.
Or imagine if we go to a super over.
I think this mic is picking up all that we say in the comm box and we don't as
If
well.
we go to a super over, we'll be playing in the dark.
We're playing on the iPhone.
3 needed off 3.
Well, the super over is a possibility. You never know. All three results are a possibility. But I still believe there's a lot of room on the leg side.
Here's Umir Butt. He's bowling outside the off stump. Again beats him outside the off stump. Beautiful bowling, and they're saying there might have been a feather.
There you go.
The Pakistanis.
This game never stops surprising you.
3 needed off 2. Can you believe that Pakistan might have climbed out of the grave here, helped by the 10 runs because India took too long to bowl their overs, and a controversy in the first day of the tournament. That's what we love about this game.
For the first time ever, more runs required than balls available. Where's he going to go here, Dan?
Umir Butt, he bowled outside the off stump. He bowls a short one. They've run. He throws at the stumps and he misses. It was a short delivery, and he was it's been called a no ball.
Now it's
A bye.
no ball.
It's a bye.
It's a bye, and it's 1 for the over. That means this one's going to be pitched up for sure. But that also means India require 2 for victory of 1 ball that Omer's yet to bowl. This one climbed on him, but he'd already pitched it out. Omar Akmal tried his best, missed the stumps by a mile.
Yeah, he did. Cameron Akmal by an absolute mile, but I wonder whether he's home anyway. The batter in the replay was out of shot. Well, they need 1 to win. 1 to win here, and he swings over the top, and he's got it. What a shot that is! And the Indians get the job done with the final ball of the match, and it took something special. It took an absolute swipe over the cover region for 6, and the Indians get home off the last ball. And Jatinder says, how do you like them apples? They're home, the Indians.
Jatinder Singh's wondering, he's asking the world what was the fuss all about. All that you had to do was pick up a single and give it to me. He's made a mockery of the boundary rope that looks a mile away. What a way to finish this game. If there are any nails left, I would really say you haven't been watching this hard enough. India versus Pakistan goes down to the wire. The perfect start to Aussie Cricket League 2.0.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic game of cricket. And well done the Pakistanis to push India all the way. The 10-run penalty certainly helped them. But India just sort of lost their nerve a bit, especially, of course, when the opening bat and their wicketkeeper, who was outstanding, Jaskar, went out after making 55, but he's probably going to win the man of the match for his 55, Jaskar. Yeah, and also took a couple of catches. I think he wins man of the match. Yeah, and took 4 catches, so he was definitely man of the match. Terrific bowling by the Pakistanis to stay in it. Aziz took 4 wickets, and then of course Oman took 2 and 1 over. But a great win by the Indians. They've won their first game beating Pakistan, and the Australians of course went down to Sri Lanka earlier today by 15 runs. It continues tomorrow. We've got the World 11, and they'll be doing battle against Afghanistan. The first look at those 2 teams.
Oh yes, and very excited to see how they fare in this wonderful tournament. Others had experience and taste of the culture that ACL brings to the table. It's going to be 2 new sides trying to learn the ropes. But we're
amazing game.
Exciting cricket, as exciting as this one. What a fantastic finish this was. Omer.
Let's have a look at the last ball again.
He smashed it,
yeah.
and no half measures whatsoever. The ball flew and flew a mile indeed. Yeah, the reaction says it all. He couldn't believe that there was so much room, and in there, as we see the umpire go out of focus,
well, but gives a wry smile, doesn't he? I mean, it was a swipe over cover, and it just cleared the right. Outstanding shot for 6.
All in all, a fantastic day of cricket, and Dan, fantastic game of cricket too. We couldn't have asked for anything better to close the first day of Aussie Cricket League, and the brilliant stuff about this is it's just getting started.
Absolutely. As I said, the 3rd game tomorrow. Wins today to India over Pakistan and Sri Lanka over Australia. Tomorrow it's the World 11 in Afghanistan at 5 o'clock local time. We look forward to your company then. Can't wait.
Thank you very much, Dan. It's wonderful calling cricket along with you. Let's go down
to the presentation
with Samantha and find out who the player of the match is.
Hello, audio check, audio check. Sir, audio check. Are you getting my voice, sir? Sir, audio check. Hello, sir. Audio check. Sir, audio check. Hello, audio check. Audio check. Done. Audio check. Pucho. Sir, audio check. Are you getting my? Sir, audio check. Okay. My voice, sir. Sachin, sir. Audio check, audio check, audio check. सही है, क्लियर है क्या?
अंदर कोई सुनने को तैयार नहीं है।
आ रही है आपके एंड पे जा रही है? ऑडियो चेक चेक चेक, सो यू आर गेटिंग ओके?
What a wonderful finish. A typical India-Pakistan match here at Casey Field, right down to the wire with that 6. Getting the win for India. Thank you everyone for taking the time out to join us here. We hope you enjoyed a bit of cricket. There's plenty to come in this tournament, so we'll see you back here tomorrow afternoon.
Hello, audio check check check, audio check, audio check. What's your choice? Hello, check check check, audio check, audio. Hello, check check check, audio check check check, audio check. हाँ सर, सर और कितना पास करूं? हेलो हेलो, चेक चेक चेक, ऑडियो चेक चेक चेक. हेलो, इंटरनल ऑन तो नहीं है सर? एक सेकंड, ये बात करो मैम, जस्ट अ सेकंड, वी आर चेकिंग. हेलो, ऑडियो चेक चेक चेक, ऑडियो चेक चेक चेक, ऑडियो चेक 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 चेक. ओके मैम.
Sorry, we're ready. Come on in. Obviously not the result that you wanted tonight, but you started off. Were falling quite fast, weren't they? But there was also that penalty in play as well. How did that play into your mind?
Obviously, we had the boost that we got another 10 runs. There was a bit of confidence there. But looking at the wicket again, we needed another 10-15 runs. 120, 125 would have been a different game. Again, credit to them. They batted really well. They did not play any long shots. They just kept ticking along, and that's the way to go about
It's always a really exciting matchup, though, isn't it? Pakistan, India. Must have had a bit of fun out there.
Well, we love playing them, and we would love to keep playing them again in the future. That's a big game always. There's always pressure, there's always excitement, and we love playing them. And at the end, credit to them, they played really well and they won the game. They were there today.
Well, it's only the second match of the tournament, so there's plenty of cricket to come. Well done to you and your team.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be joined shortly, I believe, captain of India, far away from them. And here he is coming in really quickly. There's a little smile in there. You're happy? There it is. You must be happy with that ending.
Yeah, I'm happy with the performance. The guy, they play really well. Yeah.
So we spoke just before to the captain of Pakistan, obviously, and they had a little bit of confidence with that penalty, but it didn't matter in the end, did it? You guys got it done with a wonderfully exciting finish.
Yeah, that's it is a matter of the game. Like we talked with the boys, like it doesn't matter if we get the 10-run penalties. We guys just think about that. We have to chase that total.
Are you happy with how the team went? Was there anything that you think you could improve on for the next game? Because it looked pretty exciting out there.
Yeah, that was a good game. Right now, we just beat it short of the runs. Like in the batting, we just look on that track.
Well, plenty of cricket to be played. It's only the second match of this tournament. What's ahead for Team India?
We guys going game by game. Let's see what's happened next to
Very diplomatic. All right, no worries. Well done to you. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. And let's bring in player of the match, I believe. Can we confirm? Where is he? Just Karan Sohi, come on in. What a wonderful game you played today. There's a big smile on your face to do it. But before we get to that, let's talk about your team. You must be thrilled with how they went.
Yeah, the team played very well. The starting was very good, and the wicket was damp, so they used the wicket really well, and they restricted them to a good total. That was good for us.
Well, when it came to your batting, 55 off 54 deliveries. That's a pretty good batting card. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm pleased with it, and the wicket was not good to bat on, but I knew that we had to bat till 20 overs and we'll win the game. I was sure about it.
And then 4 wonderful catches from you as well, doing your bit in the fielding.
Yeah, it was good. I'm lucky that catches came my way and I didn't drop them.
Well, that's your skills, so a testament to you. Well done, and plenty of cricket to be still played here at Casey Fields. What are you most looking forward to?
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I hope the further matches goes well and we win this tournament.
Well, fingers crossed. Congratulations to you and Team India. Here is your trophy. Come on in, Harry. Congratulations. Well done once again to Jaskar and Sohi from India, the winning team here today in that match against India-Pakistan, coming down to the wire and winning with a wonderfully exciting 6. There's plenty more cricket happening here at Casey Fields. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Well, we've got with us the man of the moment as well, Jatinder Jatt. पाजी बेहतरीन प्रदर्शन और जिस तरीके से आगाज हुआ इस टूर्नामेंट का लगता है कॉन्फिडेंस काफ़ी हाई है
क्योंकि यहाँ पे पहले कोई ऐसा टूर्नामेंट हुआ नहीं है। ये पहला टूर्नामेंट है लोकल बॉयज़ के लिए। ये बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट है कि इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर के साथ खेलना पड़ रहा है उनको, तो बहुत कुछ सीखने के लिए मिल रहा है। तो सबसे पहले मैं थैंक्स करूँगा ये टीम का, ACL टीम का, कि जिन्होंने ये टूर्नामेंट ऑर्गेनाइज किया और इतना इंटरटेनमेंट मिला इस क्रेनबर्न में खेलने के लिए। तो ये सारा क्रेडिट हैरी पाजी और उनकी टीम को जाता है।
जो आखिर में आपने छक्का मारा था और टीम को जिताया था, वो साधारण छक्का था नहीं। सूरज डूबता हुआ, लाइट्स यहाँ पे पूरी तरीके से आई नहीं थी। आपके जहन में क्या चल रहा था उस वक्त, क्योंकि गेंद शायद दिख नहीं रही थी? शायद मैं आमिर को खेल रहा था तो उन्होंने 2 बॉल किए तो वो बिल्कुल भी जज नहीं हुए, क्योंकि काफ़ी टाइम अंधेरा हो चुका था तो खेलने में थोड़ी मुश्किल थी। तो लास्ट बॉल जब मैं फेस कर रहा था तो मेरे दिमाग में यही था कि ये मेरे बॉडी पे बॉल करेगा, क्योंकि शॉट खेलूंगा तो विंड के एंगेस्ट जाएगा, लेकिन उस सिचुएशन ऐसी थी कि मारना ही पड़ना था। तो ऐसे बॉल मिला, मैंने उड़ा दी। मैं पहले ही दिमाग में यही था ऊपर से मारना है, जो होगा देखा जाएगा। तो वही लग गया, अच्छा शॉट मिल गया। वो अभी तक शायद ढूंढ रहे हैं गेंद को कि कहाँ गिरी है, बहुत दूर गई थी। एक आखिरी सवाल, मोहम्मद आमिर कराने आए थे 19वें ओवर को और वो 150 की गति पर दोनों तरफ गेंद को हिला सकते थे, थोड़ी सी हवा भी चल रही थी। आपने उस समय क्या बातचीत की थी अपने पार्टनर से कि कितने रन बचाना चाहेंगे आखिरी ओवर के लिए?
मैंने यही बोला था उनको भी कोशिश करनी हर बॉल पे सिंगल आ जाए, क्योंकि आमिर बेहतरीन प्लेयर है, टेस्ट प्लेयर है। तो कोशिश यही थी कि ये एक्सपीरियंस प्लेयर है, ये बॉल मारने वाली देगा नहीं, ठीक है। इसको हमने यही प्लान किया था। हमने 1-2 अगर 4 रन भी आ जाते हैं तो लास्ट ओवर में अगर 6-10 रन भी हो गए हम कवर कर लेंगे, क्योंकि ये बड़ा प्लेयर है। इसको सीधा सीधा अगर विकेट गिर गई तो टीम के लिए बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा। तो यही प्लानिंग था। तो लास्ट ओवर में हमको 5 रन मिल गए, क्योंकि 4 रन आमिर भाई के ओवर में आ गए, तो लास्ट ओवर में 5 रन मिल गए, तो ईजी हो गया हमारे लिए थोड़ा।
बहुत ही बेहतरीन शुरुआत है। ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ द गेम्स इन द टूर्नामेंट।
थैंक यू।
द मैन ऑफ द मोमेंट जतिंदर जाट।
निकाल